Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the most requested stream ever. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Seen a few of you who've put money towards this showing up. Alright, let's see if we can not die this time. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky. Because I suck. But we're gonna do our best. God, we're already seen. We're not even in combat, and they're like, yeah, I see you. What? You're right there. What do you want from me? Oh. Yep. Nope, they totes see us. Maybe we could just sneak around them. Let's actually try not to kill those things. How's that sound? Live and let live, I say. There's no need for horrible death. There is a need for Tizara in more cowbell, however. Of course it wants me to go, like, right where they are. Really? Okay, apparently we are going to have to kill them. That is... Really? More cowbell? Good morning, Platty.
Wait, do you see that?
Yes, that man. What is he doing?
Who cares? He's probably just a traveler.
He shouldn't be here. No merchant in his right mind would voluntarily travel through the Whispering Forest. We'll go take a look at him. Stay ready.
Did I discuss Klingon politics in that one, Tizara? Because I know that's been something I've been wanting to talk about for literally years. And there's actually several episodes of TNG where I really dig into Klingon politics. Because from my perspective, I've already covered Redemption for a bit of perspective there.
She's with me now, forever.
Kirosh.
What in? You there? Who are you? And
My
what
sword.
are you doing here?
She's with me now, forever.
What are you, deaf? Identify yourself.
His eyes. Master, this is the Red Madness.
Shit, of course. You will put away that pickaxe right now, my sir, and then get on your knees.
She wanted to leave. Don't you understand? She wanted to leave me, just like that.
This is
But now,
disgusting.
She will stay.
By the righteous path! Have you lost your mind?
I could ask you the same thing, damn it! Did you forget what Magister Yarrow did to the novices? This man could have attacked us at any moment.
Oh, really? Malphas protect us from your cunning. But did the thought ever cross your mind that one needs to understand a disease in order to heal it? And that some apothecary might have given their left hand for a living patient?
You're not being fair, Master. I was only protecting us.
Like heck you did. You behaved like an idiot. And not for the first time. The other masters might ignore that fact due to your religious commitment and your bloodline. I get that. But if something like this ever happens again, you will be suspended from the rites and will spend the rest of your life polishing prayer banks in the sanctum. Do I make myself clear?
He really was trying to protect us, Master. Maybe...
Do I make myself clear?
You do, Master. And I beg your forgiveness for my offense.
Granted. Now let's push on. We will take care of the body after the ritual.
Are you okay?
Just save it.
No, that's cool. There's a lot of dead time during Enderal streaming, Tizara. In fact, I was hoping to bring up a Square Enix question today. But, sadly, none of them are on to answer the question. And nobody here actually cares about Square Enix, so... Sadness. But... Speaking of which, the week of E3 is just going to be a pain. we're not actually going to do regular streams during E3. I just want to tell you guys that right up front.
The first foothold. This is where Malthus's vassals erected their first camp. So behave yourselves accordingly. You too, Prodigy.
You got it. Oh. You don't mean like that. Got it. Okay. What the... It's taken control, but only partially. Oh, geez, my hand.
Before we start, there's
My hand.
something I need to tell
My
you.
other hand.
Something, important. The rumors concerning the deaths of the Lightborn, they're true.
What?
The gods are dead. They fell 2 winters ago beneath the sword of an unknown traveler. We, that is, the Order, have known about this for quite some time now, but haven't told the common people yet. But since the three of you intend to take the trial, there's no way to disguise the truth anymore.
But how can a god die?
There was a prophecy, as old as the Lightborn themselves, in which there was talk of a shadow god, who would end the era of gods. And it came true. I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
You're telling us that the gods have been killed, and you are sorry. What's next? That tomorrow the sun will stop shining?
Actually...
That this is a test, Master. It is, isn't it? A test of our faith.
No, the Lightborn are dead. But, hard as it may be to accept, we cannot afford to fall into a spiritual
heck is
crisis
we?
right now.
The Order of the Gods, Malthus's order, was created to protect the Lightborn. And if what you're saying, this blasphemy is true, then we're meaningless. We failed, don't you see that? Oh, by the Black Guardian, I just can't believe it.
And though I shan't be seen, thou shalt live by my virtue. 3rd Revelation, verse 137. I know it's hard, Dunwar, but if this is true, we have to show strength and keep on believing in what the Lightborn stood for, which is the idea of peace and...
Oh, just shut your mouth, Sakaresh. If anything, you lowborn scum are living proof that the Order is going downhill. Do you really think I don't know about the village? You're a damned witch, and if this were the old times, you would have been crucified long time ago.
You don't mean that, Dunwar.
Drop it, for heaven's sake! We're all on the same side here.
No, we are not. This wench doesn't have any right to wear the white robes. And if you would spend more time with the holy scriptures instead of your brandy bottle, you would see it as well. But no, you just...
Shut up! I swear to you, one more word and you will wish that I just suspended you.
But...
No buts! Do you understand?
Yes.
I hope so, for your sake. Just be glad that this is a time when we need skilled mages more than ever. Just be glad. Now enough of this. Our demeanor defiles this sacred place. There will be enough time for depression and personal crisis after the trial. Let's recite the holy words. Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor. In life, as in death.
May your light guide me.
Good.
Even though you're super dead, I totally pledge to you, whatever your name was.
Because this is what distinguishes a keeper from a soldier. What distinguishes a wise man from a fool. Keep that in mind. Now, drink the potion I gave you. You first, Prodigy. Let's hope the Grand Master was right about you.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just drink. Oh god, it's poison! Oh god, it is poison. I knew it! We are now Grey Wardens. Yes, I'm gonna run the Voot basically for the rest of today.
Oh no. No, no, no. I knew I wouldn't be the last one. Did they also tell you the tales about the Keeper's spirit? They've lured you into a trap, you know. And you fell for it. Because you're arrogant. Just as I am. As I was.
Okay. Get out of my way.
You're right. I'm not real. At least not according to your definition of the word. But then again, what is reality anyway? If I told you that you and your friend Sirius actually lie dead at the bottom of the sea, and that everything that has happened so far, your journey to Ark, the search at the Sun Coast, was only a dream, would you be able to recognize the truth? The answer is no. Because you don't want to be dead. Therefore, your mind will do anything to make you believe this entire dream you've had was and is reality.
Okay. So that's pretty stupid, actually. But, I just want you to know that, when I come back to stab you... Hang on. Since no one else is linking it, give me a second to get the link so I can link it to Zara. There we go. No, Plutonia. Although I didn't do it, so I can't speak to that. Hang on. So how exactly am I dreaming if I'm dead? A dead god can't dream.
Doesn't it? Tell me, what is time to the dead and dreaming anyway? The last second before the water floods into your lungs. The very last instant before it tears them apart. In your mind, it could be an eternity. A self-created sanctuary built from nothing but your wishes. But what's the point in talking anyway? You don't want to believe me. And I'm tired of trying to make you. Now leave me alone, before we make the suppressor even angrier. He doesn't like words. He likes the silence.
Right. Who the hell's the suppressor?
What? They haven't told you about him? Oh, that's so typical. The suppressor. He's the reason why we will be imprisoned here forever. And why we can't access our feelings and wishes. And he does it because he wants us to lose hope. To stop believing. And... you know, sometimes I wonder if that's exactly what we humans... what I have to do to finally be free. Give up. Detach myself from the dreams of the past. Who knows if there were anything else than phantasms to begin with. But no. No, not yet. It's too early to surrender. And isn't that what makes us human, anyway? To hope? And to just keep on waiting for that one miracle that will end the pain once and for all? Yeah, I'll wait. And you will wait with me forever.
Yes, Caspian. Well, time to wait forever. Wait, no, wait!
What the? How did you do that?
I didn't do anything, what are you talking about?
You simply opened it? But that's impossible. All these years it's kept me from escaping, and you just... Come on. We have to look. We have to look and see what's outside. We won't get far, but still we have to see. Come, lead the way.
Okay, sure. Nice place. Very, horrible.
By the gods, these are the scourges of the Suppressor. They want to punish us.
Why? What did I do? Go away. Oh, I said... Why do I... Why? What? Why do I have a knife equipped? What the hell? They're called seducers, but they're like ghosts. I mean, how can you have sex with a don't answer that question. We all know that poor Whoopi Goldberg. Someone's gonna get that. Rude. Would you stop respawning? It's not cool. A lot of death and horribleness around here. And floating barrels. Is this Donkey Kong? This is Donkey Kong, isn't it? Gosh darn it. Okay, that's just mean. Okay, let us listen to the silence. What really drives you? Who are you? Who are you since you set foot on Enderal? Now you are the opposite of what you really are. Instructive, strong, powerful, meaningful. In short, the prophet. You have constructed a narrative for yourself, a fairy tale about who you want to be. And you have found exactly those people who confirm it. That's the most important thing, isn't it? You found someone who believes in your fairy tale. Don't you see? You're simply wrong. All about you is wrong. You are pathetic, you know that? What would Sirius say about this? Poor Sirius. Okay, stop burning. Why are there webs everywhere?
It's so cold. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to go out. After all, I mean, yeah. Yes, the cell is small, but at least it's safe.
I mean, debatable, but sure. I'm not sure I would call that safe. Oh, lots of hanging bodies, like you do. They didn't tell me this is a horror game when they first got me to play this one, I'll tell you what. It's a shame I don't have a nice crisp piece of meat. Hey, Geludo. But I didn't find anything! Oh, Platy found something. Okay. Well, I hope that Platy is awesome. I mean, I guess I know she is. I know Tazara's awesome too, but that's unrelated. So thank you as ever, and as always, Tazara. Now, as per usual, you get to decide if you would like to decide where that goes.
By the gods, everything here looks so similar. It's a damn maze.
This is not a maze.
Oh, really? We should never have left. This will be our doom.
Okay, in that case, Platy, what would you like to put that towards? Gosh darn it. Oh. That sucks. Alright, that's okay. I can fix that. It's just getting really sick here. There we go. Yep. That's super sick. I mean, I had the same problem, Ryokami. It's funny, I've been fascinated with dungeon design, and as a consequence, mages, for almost my entire life. I should say level design, not dungeon design.
Do you see it? All the cells, they're all empty. And there's blood. Oh no.
Okay.
There were people in there just like us. They didn't know their place either, and now they're dead. They've simply dissolved because they dared to disobey the suppressor. By the gods, this is what will happen to us too. I knew it was a mistake to leave in the first place. I just knew it.
Calm down, dude. Oh, that's good. Oh, Jesus, we're back here.
Oh no, they've lured you into a trap, you
Hang
know.
on, hang on.
Of course. But then again, if I the answer, a self-created what? And oh no, yeah.
We in the business call those gotchas. Seriously, that is literally a gotcha trap. Now, unfortunately, thanks to the industry, we now have gotcha, which sounds extremely similar, but is actually a completely separate thing from a gotcha. See, there's gotcha, which is G-A-C-H-A. That's loot box garbage. And then there's gotcha, which is G-O-T-C-H-A, which is a form of level design, which has existed since the old days. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Gotcha! It basically relies on either your reflexes being sufficiently quick or knowing what's coming. One of the two. Obviously, we were neither. Get out of the way! You don't matter. Go away. You don't even give experience. Piss off. I mean, you give 10 experience. So whoop-de-doo. Do-do-do-do-do. Blood. Hello, Zaluk. I should probably go slowly through here. Yeah, hang on, I just saved. Click. Click. There we go. Oh yeah, happy times. I've only died once today. I saw the skull named Remorse, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is a trap. I didn't realize the form the trap was taking, obviously, since I didn't even move to dodge it. So anywho, what? God, so many seducers. It's college all over again. You think I'm joking. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. You got it, Platty. Give me a second to jot that down. And thank you again to Zara. Okay. I try, Tizara. I fail, but I try. The key to freedom, huh? Actually, very well, more cowbell. Okay, why is it not interacting with it? I'm hitting E, it's just not grabbing it. Hang on. Because that's going to happen. It wasn't letting me try to just brute force it. Whatever, here. Have a heart. Come on, game. Okay, have some wine. Would you prefer some wine? Oh my god, physics. How do they work? No! Wait, it worked somehow. I made it. I'm free forever. Even though I totally could tell that this is a cell that led to nowhere and was in fact the cell I started from. So I'm not an idiot.
Oh no, no! Can't you see? We're back where we started. It's
Yes.
useless. The suppressor doesn't want us to leave, and now he will be even angrier when we meet him than he was before. It was a mistake to follow you. You're vile. You forced me to do this, and you alone. Just leave me alone, okay? Just go.
Okay. Nah, I won't kill him. Tempting, but no. Anyways, I'm supposed to say Age of Wonders Planetfall here. For Zalok's cat. It's okay, don't worry. This is Skyrim. I got this. I got a bucket. Most incredible tool in any Skyrim game. God, this thing's apparently really heavy. I can't even run while carrying this thing. Yeah. Nope. Okay, I doubt the game actually is expecting me to clip through the wall, so... Let's see, our options are sleep, talk, or self-immolate. I like the idea of self-immolating. Aw. Well, whatever.
Suppressors punishment. It will be horrible.
So, okay. Are you a part of me? I mean, I know you're an illusion.
Of course I'm a part of you, and you are a part of me. Isn't that obvious? But I should have known you wouldn't understand. You're too weak. You always were.
It's true. So, why are you afraid of the suppressor?
No, you haven't. Because you're blind. The suppressor is here, in every single stone, in every bone, in every drop of blood, and yet you are too blind to see it. But I should have known. I mean, what can you expect from someone who has killed his entire family? I followed you because for a brief moment, you made me want to believe, and now you've dragged me into the abyss along with you.
Yeah, it's kind of what I do. So, how do we get out of here again?
No, there isn't.
No, we gotta get out of here.
Look at what we are.
But,
We are the damned because we are trapped too deeply in the past, and that's why we do not deserve freedom.
okay. Well, none of that's actually really what I would call helpful. Well, that leaves me with literally one option, so I suppose we'll take it. Yeah. Right. Hey, I got you a present. But apparently you don't have collision, so whatever.
What? The suppressor's punishment. It will be horrible.
Blah, blah, blah. The rock and stone. Right, I give up. What am I supposed to do? I mean, I can try this, I guess. Nope. Maybe there's something. What the? What the? Come on. Hang on. What in the world? God dang it, game. Why are you doing this? There it is. Left control. There we go. Okay, that's better. Okay, admittedly, this would not have occurred to me.
Well, well. So you figured it out? Yes. I am what keeps you in this place. But was it blind rage that made you act, or have you truly understood who I am?
Nope.
Have you understood what drives you and determines your actions?
Nope.
The salt corrodes your skin, and the water filling your lungs is cold. But you still haven't found it, child, have you?
Nope. Right. Very creepy. Nice rain effects. Well, I'm out. Okay, maybe I'm not out.
Oh, hey.
There we go.
Good to see you awake. How are you feeling?
Where's Dunwar? And Kalia and Bartar?
Good question. The room was empty when I came here. Actually, that's quite weird now that you mention it. The entire temple seemed kind of deserted. But, probably a ceremony or something like that. Now, tell me, how are you holding up? I heard this trial's quite the feat. Apparently some of the novices never wake up again.
Yeah, I'm fine, I guess. Where are we at?
In the temple. The curarium, to be precise. You were brought here when you were traveling with that Ixon guy. I think the others are already awake, but I didn't want to leave you here, so I thought I'd just stay. I mean, hey, you are a keeper of the first sigil now, aren't you? I believe congratulations are in order.
Yeah, I'm not letting it get to my head.
Well, you shouldn't. Do you know why? Because you're pathetic. Simply pathetic.
It's true. I mean, he's right.
I said you are pathetic. At first we believed it would be more exciting this time. But now that we've seen the new prophet, our hopes are gone. You're a joke.
A nobody who let his only friend kick the bucket.
As if you'd ever accept that. You humans are always so damn persistent, aren't you? Why? Why can't you just let go?
Because in the end, you are powerless, just as all those before you. And you, prophet, you are the biggest joke of all.
You are nothing but an urchin.
A weakling.
And a murderer.
So hold up.
And that is why you will burn. All of you. The cleansing will happen, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
So these are the prophets? Deep Space Nine joke. So you're the ones behind it. Okay. Why?
What have you done to us? You are so naive. The world is an interplay of cause and effect, and the only logical consequence of your existence is annihilation. That's the way it was, and that's the way it's going to be. But enough of the banter, urchin. We wanted to meet you, and so we did, even though the result is rather sobering. Now wake up. Keep on stumbling through the mist.
Deja vu.
Thank Malphus. I was starting to think I was the only one. How are you? You look exhausted.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty exhausted.
Of course. Sorry. That remark was a little redundant. But it's good to see the Grandmaster was right after all. I woke up just a few hours earlier, and he was here in the meantime. He didn't doubt for a single second that you would make it. But I suppose mutual congratulations are in order. We made it. We passed the trial.
So does that make us keepers?
Almost, yes. All that is left to do is to take the oath, and then Grandmaster Aranthiel will exalt us to the keepers of the first sigil. Speaking of whom, he also told me some things while you were asleep. About the Pyreans, about these dreams, and of course, about this cycle. This is so bizarre, really. At first we're told out of nowhere that the gods have died, and now humanity is on the brink of extinction. This is a lot to take in.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on the death of the gods. But I'm going to comment on the cycle.
Hard to say. I never had those dreams the Grandmaster talked about, even though I'm magically gifted. But then again, I always had the feeling that the Red Madness was more than an ordinary disease. Well, I suppose all of this explains a lot. At least now I can understand why the Grandmaster was willing to break all the traditions of the Order just to get you exalted to be a keeper. According to him, most of our battle against the cycle will stand or fall with you.
That's not what I would call a encouraging thing. In fact, I have a weird theory that I'm debating with here.
Yes, I believe that. It's a great responsibility you've been given, and as impressive as your skills are, I would not want to change places with you.
Yeah. The voot, if and but, is how would you divvy up FF7? No.
Well, as I said, we both have to take the Holy Oath. You should talk to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready. He's waiting for you in the Emporium.
So, what about Dunwar?
Right. Dunwar. The apothecary examined him about an hour ago, and it doesn't look good. It's likely that he'll never wake up again.
Sweet. That's terrible.
No, in spite of everything. You know, Dunwar was one of those people who tried to gild their insecurity with boastful behavior. The reality is that he was the last of his bloodline, and his faith in the path and his destiny as a keeper were all that he had left. And who knows? Maybe he would have been a great help to the Order with the right guidance. But I guess Master Bartar's revelation was just too much for him. It's hard to be told that everything you've lived for was a lie.
You don't seem to be too shaken up about the death of the so-called gods.
Well, maybe I just don't show it as much. But yes, in a way, you're probably right. I suppose that's mainly due to the fact that to me, as opposed to Dunwar, the Order always stood for an idea. And an idea doesn't die with the one who first thought of it. Funny that the Grandmaster said nearly the same thing during the exaltation. Dunwar would have considered it blasphemy.
So, you talk about the Lightborn as their ideas as if they wouldn't have cost thousands of lives. They're not as benevolent as you make them out to be.
That's true. A lot of crimes were committed during the Lightborn's reign, and I don't want to minimize that. But I also think a lot of those crimes were unavoidable, so to speak. Imagine you're the king of a small island, and one day your realm gets attacked by a fleet of Scarab Reavers.
Okay.
The invasion catches you completely off guard, and within a few hours, the Reavers have advanced to the farmland, just a few feet from your city's main gates. And before you know it, you have to make a decision. Will you use the time that remains to entrench your army within the city's walls to have a better chance of surviving a siege? Or do you send them into the field to fight the Reavers there, knowing that there is only a slight chance to save the farmers, but a big risk that you will lose both the city and the farmers?
We don't trade lives. I mean, that is a classic dilemma. It's one of the most archetypal dilemmas that have been debated since ancient times. So, I would be stupid.
It would, yes. But what if your foray fails, and ends up being the reason why the Scarab can break through the city's fortifications? Wouldn't that, too, make you responsible for all the townsfolk they would kill once they got in?
Yes.
What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter what you do. There will be people who will despise you for your decision.
Ain't that the truth?
If the rescue the farmers fails, you will be accused of having acted blindly and idealistically. And if you just stay in the city, they will say you didn't even try. Of course, there's a small chance the foray might work, but should decisions like that really be made as if they were a game of dice? As I said, I don't mean to absolve the Lightborn of their crimes, but I'd wager my left hand that they had a lot of similar decisions to make.
Speaking of Dunwar, what was that thing he said at the ritual? He called you a witch.
I knew the question would come eventually. I suppose the answer depends on whether you're in the mood for some gloomy talk. Sooner or later, you'll hear it from someone else anyways. Why not from me first?
Hi, Disco. Bye, Disco, I guess. Quick, how would you divvy up FF7? Go. Thank you very, very much, Flitz McCain. Even though you just startled the hell out of me. I'm awake. I swear I'm awake. I'm awake. In all sincerity, thank you very much, as always, for the support and the bits. Thank you, sir. If there's anything you'd like to put that towards for future interest, just let me know. Thank you. So, yeah, tell me all about your deep and dark and horrible past.
As you wish. Where should I start? Maybe with the fact that I don't remember anything that happened before my 6th winter. I don't know where I was born, and I never got to know my parents.
Why?
I wish I knew. What I do know, though, is that the first memory I have is of waking up in the middle of some village. It was dark, and I felt dizzy and, I don't know, empty? That's probably the best way to describe it. I eventually found the strength to get up and look around, and, well, that's when I realized what was actually going on around me.
Which is what?
The entire village. It had been destroyed. There were corpses everywhere. Men, women, children, and the houses had been crushed as if some mad god had rampaged through the streets there. And it had all just happened hours before because the destruction was still fresh. Whatever it was, I didn't have much time to think about it. As soon as I got up, I saw 3 riders coming through the smoke. One of them got off his horse, ran towards one of the corpses, and started screaming something in my direction. Then I felt a blow on the back of my head, and I lost consciousness. By the name of the sun, it's strange to talk about it like this. It's been so long, but the memory feels as if it had happened yesterday.
Why did they attack you?
Well, it turned out the riders were hunters who had come from that village. They must have observed the whatever it was from the distance and ridden back to the village. At least I think that's how it went. I guess I'll never find out. The reason they thought I was somehow involved is that the village priest found me a couple of days before it happened near a shrine in the wilderness. Apparently, I was wearing torn clothing, and no matter what the apothecary tried, he couldn't wake me up from my comatose sleep. And it seems that made the writers think I was some kind of witch child, or unholy beast, whichever you prefer.
They really thought a 6-year-old child destroyed an entire village.
For you, maybe. For them, as simple people, it was probably the best explanation they had. And think about it, it's not that far off. A motherless child who neither talks nor breathes steadily is found abandoned on the roadside and has a strange mark on her face. They leave to go hunting, and when they come back, they find their village in ruins with that foundling child being the only survivor. You have to admit, it's not that much of a stretch, even if those men hadn't been superstitious farmers.
So what? They wanted revenge?
Probably. Truth be told, I try not to think about it too much. And actually, it doesn't matter, because I somehow managed to get away before they could do anything. I even made it to Ark all by myself, which didn't turn out to be much of an improvement in the end, because I was pathless.
So they took you into the Undercity.
Yes. Thinking about it now, I actually wonder how I made it through my time down there. But maybe that's one of the advantages of being a child. You don't think. You just act. Still, the winters down there were cruel, and if Master Tyrus hadn't found and taken care of me, I probably wouldn't have made it through my second year.
So a keeper adopted you?
Yes, otherwise I would not be here. He saw me, and he knew what he had to do, is how he put it. Of course, the Order wasn't too happy about a pathless child in the Scuola, just as some aren't happy about you being here. But Tyrus was a highly regarded man, and that's why they let it slide.
Honestly, that sounds a little too good to be true to me.
It does, yes. But then, he had lost both his wife and daughter 5 years before he found me, so maybe I was some kind of substitute. I don't know. But in the end, it doesn't matter. I owe him everything. He was a good man, and that's all that matters.
Alright, so he granted you the Novicate.
Yes. And now I'm here.
Novitiate.
Well, here we've reached the end of my impressive tale. I hope you liked it.
I mean, you're definitely not the fisherman's daughter from the village. I'll give you that.
No, I guess I'm not.
That wasn't an whatever. So what happened to Master Tyrus? Where's he now?
Gone. He was very old, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. But I'd prefer not to talk about it, if you don't mind.
Right. So that means Dunwer believes that this story about you being responsible for the destruction of the village, right? Is that actually true?
He does, yes, and he's not alone in his opinion. One of those hunters recognized me in the market my first year as a novice, and you can imagine that it was easy pickings for those who were already against my presence in the Order. From then on, they added names to the derogatory stares. Demon Child, Witch, whatever they could come up with.
Those are very strange dialogue choices. I'm going to go with the second one. I saw your skills. And you're the only one who made it through the trial. The way they treat you probably has more to do with jealousy than anything else.
Maybe. But everything I'm capable of is the fruit of hard work. Though they will never acknowledge that. You know what's funny? To some extent, I'm glad to be who I am. That way, people just leave me alone, and that gives me more time to focus on what's important. On my goals.
Which are...
Several. But I'd say that's enough of the gloomy stories, don't you think? There will be plenty of time for chatter in the future. Maybe.
Right. So I should go see the Grandmaster.
You should. It's already late, but if you want, I can show you the most important places in the temple before you go to the Emporium. What do you think?
You know what? Sure.
Good. Then get your gear from the chest by your bed and we'll go.
Okay. Wouldn't you be, Disco? I mean, I'm barefoot right now.
Well then, let's go.
Hold up. Oh, wait. Let's get my gear on. There we go. God, I hate this helmet so much. It's the worst helmet in the world. Behold the Dark Master. Beware the dark side of the Force. Whoa, stop running. There we go. That was weird. You know, it's interesting to me, Morcalbel. A lot of people say the first episode should terminate at the exit to Midgar. It's not a bucket, it's a helmet. Yeah, it looks a lot like a bucket, though. I was thinking third would be you-know-what, Morcalbel. And then
Right.
4
This is
would be the final one.
It's a place of silence and prayer, and also where we'll be exalted later.
And buckets. Buckets. Yeah, seriously. You know what? I'm so tired of this helmet, I'm just going to unequip it. I know it's going to suck because I'm not really high enough level to really make that work, but I'm still going to do it.
You just wait. Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Yes, Venters.
Yes.
This is an exceptionally extensive Skyrim mod, which is basically longer and better than vanilla Skyrim in every way. Any questions? I need to start compiling a list of the parts of Skyrim that need to be included in the positives and minuses here. Like, the only one I have at the top of my head is the console command. The Beatles? Ah, very simple. So the Beatles would show up and then die instantly. Oh, you... Okay. So, imagine there's a giant underground device. And it's kind of like copper, maybe gold pieces here and there.
Walk blessed.
And as you're going through it, it accidentally teleports underwater.
Okay, I think you've seen this place before. We call this part of the temple the Chronicum, and in here is gathered the knowledge of the Order, written down in books and parchments. Plus, all of the experiments and research on artifacts and magic is done here, so it's a place you'll probably see often in the near future. Ah, and just below the Chronicum is the temple smithy. You should go there if you need equipment. Over there, that's the Scuola and the quarters, where both the keepers and the novices live. There's also a training room where everything from swordplay to marksmanship can be trained and taught. You will find some skilled teachers there. Well, I think that's about it. You've already been to the Emporium, and I assume to the Eye of the Gods as well. I suggest you speak to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready to take the oath.
Like, you're cool with me lying during the oath, right?
Prepare myself, probably. Now walk blessed. I will see you soon.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to minimize my alt-tabbing because this is Skyrim, and I don't feel I need to further explain there. Although, funnily enough, I now need to alt-tab. So let's do that really quick. Hey, Myron. The time has come, Myron. Myron's like, oh god, what? It is time for you to tell me how you would divvy up Final Fantasy VII. Oh yeah, and considering when that happens, we might actually cover that live, Zalok, tomorrow evening. So, let me scroll up a bit here, because I need to jot something down. By the way, I don't know if I said it, but hi, Blue Wolf. Ah, there it is. Alright. So, we're just going to kind of put these in italics, the potential Skyrim pluses. So, the console is extensive, well-designed, intuitive, and searchable for editing, changing, deleting, fixing. It's an excellent console. The end. We do not, Myron, although I've been presuming 3, although we could do 4 if we wanted to. I would say 5 is the absolute high end, though. That's just getting a little silly at that point. Okay, so that's a Skyrim positive, is the console. If I'm being honest, I think the way Skyrim does cutscenes is kind of a negative for me. So I'm going to put that as part of an aggregate. The not quite paused, not really interactable. I can type, I swear, actable cutscene style is just jarring and doesn't work for me. It's funny you say that, Cordoon. I'm not going to give a positive or a negative to graphics for Skyrim, but if I was inclined to, I would probably give it a negative. And I know that sounds horrible, but I've never enjoyed the graphic styles of Skyrim. Like, it's decent fidelity, as I've talked about before, and it's arguably better fidelity than Oblivion, although that is a debatable topic. But I don't like how it looks. I never have. The only exception to that is the wintry areas, which I mentioned the other day. So, can't do it for graphics. Let's see, what else do we have? We have the dual system. I do like that, so... That's probably one of the few things I really enjoyed that Skyrim added to the previous ones. I mean, I agree with you, Zalok. In fact, whenever we do an in-depth classic of Mario World, I guarantee you that game is going to get at least one positive to graphic, because Mario World was brilliantly designed from a purely visual perspective. Although, if I'm being blunt, I think Yoshi's Island looks better, but, I mean, time. See, I don't mind. Like, I would say, like, if we were to balance it out here, this is neutral and this is positive and negative. Like, Morrowind would be just a little bit positive for me. Like, I kind of enjoy it. Oblivion has always been reasonably positive. There's quite a bit of Oblivion that just kind of is soothing to me, that I enjoy looking at. I love that rolling green hills look. Skyrim, like I said, I like the frozen areas, but that's kind of it for me. You know, when you get far north and you start to have the snowstorms and whatnot, that's pretty good. But then there's the rest of the game, especially the dungeons, which is very, very brown. Like, even this, look at how much brown and gray is represented here. Look at it for a second. Really. Process how much brown and gray is on the screen. And I'm looking at some green, too. If I was to tilt over here, or like, say, over here, lose my mouse. There we go. So now look at how much brown and green, or brown and gray is on the screen. Like, you get my point, right? It really went heavy into that particular aesthetic, which it makes sense, because that was this particular era of gaming. I mean, Skyrim's actually kind of an old game. I know that's a weird thing to think about. And at this era in gaming, back when Skyrim came out, a lot of games were leaning heavily on the brown and gray aesthetic. It was just kind of a thing for a while. So... But yeah, it would be a kind of an aesthetic thing, Cordoon. Like, again, the graphics are good. You know, decent res textures, you know, decent water stuff. It's just, I don't like them. So at best, I could say that they're okay. Oh, I agree, Blue Wolf Alex. Which is weird, because that means you and I agree on something. But I do agree with it. Legend of Zelda Link to the Past is usually my go-to example for a game that I think has visually aged quite well. So other positives and negatives for just Skyrim. So I already mentioned that system. It's the grunge era. It doesn't really get a positive or a negative for this, I don't think. The Sky UI just makes the default UI better. I don't think it actually makes it good. So... Did I read that? Yes, I did. Okay. I mean, this is kind of neat. Being able to do that. What else? As weird as this may sound, yeah, I know, more cowbell. See, it's funny. Most of the things that I would give a negative to Skyrim for, I can't here because they've been removed by modding. Like the map, or the interface, or the hotkey system. Did fast travel get better? That's a matter of opinion. So here's how fast travel works. There, you see these tower icons here, like that one right there? Those are basically flight paths, to use as, or waypoints, or whatever system. What do you want to call that? You know, they are. You go from those towers to other towers. You also can get scrolls, which allow you to recall to certain towns. I have a couple of those on me. And that's the fast travel system. Again, I don't think that's either plus or negative worthy, to be completely honest. I think I'll just sit on those for right now. The big one was the console. It was the one that made me prompt the question. What? That's true. Culgar, that's true. So it's basically just straight up Morrowind at that point. I was debating giving a plus for smart objective markers. Because, so this is a really minor bit of tech, but it's a good convenience feature. In some of games, especially of the Oblivion era, so, you know, a generation earlier, those little quest markers, they basically pointed exactly where you had to go. And it didn't really have a good way to extrapolate that in some cases. In later games, and more modern games, they'll put a quest marker in the direction of where you need to go to get to where you eventually need to go. Actually, probably the best example of this, and I know this is going to sound strange, is Destiny 2. Because in Destiny 2, if for example, here, I'll give you an example. Sprint, go, sprint, die in fire. Okay, so in Destiny 2, if I need to go up that door and I am downstairs, the quest marker wouldn't actually be like that, pointing up to the thing. The quest marker would be right there at that passageway. So I would walk here, and then the quest marker would move up. And, you know, like, and then it would move over to the door, you know, basically giving you a guiding path. It's not necessary, but it's actually a nice convenience feature when it comes to games that have more complex terrain, and you're not 100% sure how to get to the eventual destination. I don't think I'm going to give a plus to Skyrim's for that, because Skyrim's is basically like a step away from that. And even that is still not quite a full plus.
Absurd.
I don't believe I know. The mercenary, he might not be the shining knight of Castle Starsound, but he's better than most of your men. I want him, and you will need to convince your true Chesser of it.
Is that so? Very well, I will convince her. You will hear from me.
I hope so.
Prophet, good to see you. How do you feel?
Oh, I'm great. It's great, wonderful.
Good. I never doubted you would pass the test. In any case, all that is left to do now is to recite the oath. Then we will finally deal with the more urgent matters.
Hang on. Do I have to swear on dead gods, or what?
None of it. You'll see.
But, alright, fine, whatever.
The ceremony needs a little preparation. 1 day at least. Come back then. Even if it hurts to lose more time, the cleansing approaches. I can feel it. Just this night I had another of the dreams.
Alright, what'd you see?
People I knew, including you. But these people weren't themselves. There was something else, and it spoke through them. They mocked us and said our struggle against the cycle was pointless. It was peculiar.
Oh, so you talked to the prophets too.
I believe that these beings are connected to the cycle. They must be the ones who cause it.
Yeah, I had the same dream.
You did? That is interesting. It must be related to our roles as emissaries. Maybe there is a connection between us.
Okay, that's your second DS9 reference. Come on, game.
None. Maybe they are demons or magical entities of some kind, but they are different from everything I know. In any case, if they are indeed responsible for the cycle, they are our enemies. That's what matters for now. Come back tomorrow for the ceremony.
So, yep, okay. Peace. So I need to test something that just occurred to me. Because I want to address what Caspian mentioned there. So you can turn off quest markers. I'm pretty sure that's what that did. Yep. Okay. Which is good. You know what's bad? Quest design. So, I did more cowbell, and I found very little useful information. Let me tell you what. The reason I bring that up, though, one of the biggest things that I tend to talk about, I've talked about this so many times, and had many, many discussions about this, is I am in favor of quest markers as an option if the quests are properly designed. And I have to add both of those asterisks to it. Because, first of all, it should be optional. But the problem is, and I talked about this before, in Morrowind, and I know I'm not the only person who mentioned this, in Morrowind, it would say, you need to go to this such and such place. In order to get there, you need to go out, heading south along the road. You're going to see a tree on the right. You need to pass that tree and take a right down the path. It's going to head into the hills. You're going to want to go up the hills a little bit before you see a cave to your left. In the cave, at the back of the cave, you're going to find the thing you want. That's Morrowind's approach. Now, to be clear, that's good. Oblivion's approach wasn't as good, but kind of leaning in that direction. You just...
There you are.
Who the hell are you?
Here. A letter for you.
Oh, God, I can't get away from the couriers. Thanks, have some pennies.
What? Oh, that's very generous of you.
Shut up and take the money.
Thank you. Safe travels. And may his light guide you.
Nope, he's dead, but enjoy the money. Anyway, so in Oblivion, it'll be like, you know, to use a similar example, go north along the road until you're heading up into the hills, and then on the left of the road, you're going to find a cave entrance. As you go through the cave, you'll find the item you need, and there'll of course be the quest the quest marker. In Skyrim, it would say, go to the cave such and such, and get the item. Now, do you see the difference here? I mean, I know this sounds so stupid, but my point is, Morrowind, even though it didn't have quest markers, did the overall design best because it gave you full direction, so you didn't need quest markers. Now, that depended on the quest descriptions being accurate, and there are actually a few quests in Morrowind where the descriptions are not accurate, which has led to several players getting lost over the years. But the point being, it's still the ideal design if quest markers existed, because then you can have the quest marker if you just want to go to there, and you could turn it off if you want to find your own way there. That's the ideal for me. And the funny thing is, near as I can tell, basically no games have done that. I'm sure there's at least one somewhere that's done that, but I can't think of it. Oh, excuse me. And this all came up because I got into extensive discussions about me defending quest markers as a concept. Exactly, Inquisitor. Or Light. One of these days I'll start calling you Light, I swear. It's not my fault. It's so hard for me to remember names. Once a name gets stuck in there, it's very hard to change it. But yeah, I need you to go to such and such. Sometimes they don't even say I'll mark it on your map. They just say, I need you to go to the such and such quarters. Okay. And then there's a new thing on your map, and there's a marker leading there, and you're like, aha! This is the direction I'm going in. I still haven't found those little signposts to warp around.
Outlander, you don't belong here.
Oh yeah, I should probably read the letter he just gave me. Is this it? Congratulations on passing your trial. You already know how I feel about the Red Cloaks and their superior attitude. But still, it'd rob me of my sleep to know I didn't congratulate you in person. Should your holy duties allow it, meet me at the old watchtower of the western gate of Ark. Exactly, more cowbell. That is exactly the problem. I mean, every now and again, I just don't feel like remembering where I'm going, or I don't remember what they said, and I'm just like, where the hell am I supposed to go? So I tend to, you know, I like having quest markers as an option, and I usually leave them on. But I still stand by my statement that properly designed quests, which properly explain where you're supposed to go, would be the ideal. You know, if I were to design a game like this, that would be where I would go with that. Like, okay, listen.
Have you heard it? Apparently the Blue Islands Coalition sent an emissary here to Enderal.
Now, a lot of older RPGs have kind of... So I mentioned Morrowind. The problem is Morrowind is actually kind of an exception, too. There are a lot of older RPGs which don't give those kind of directions. There are a lot of older RPGs which give no directions whatsoever. You know, the getting lost problem is a very real problem when it comes to older RPGs. You know, especially NES, SNES, and PS1 era. Because the game is just like, alright, well, where am I supposed to go next? And it's even worse because most of those games are script-based, which means you need to talk to a very specific NPC or interact with a very specific item in order to progress the script, in order to advance the story. So you may even go to the right place, but you don't know who to interact with, which leads to basically walking around and talking to everyone syndrome, which can cause its own issues. Oh my god, I just want to go down there. Let me go down there, game. I'm not ready to TCL down there. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Whatever. But yeah, exactly, Light. Do you prefer Light or Inquisitor? I should ask you outright. Which name do you prefer? I'll try to adhere to that one.
My Sir de Luna, and I felt...
Good morning, Baron. Oh, yeah, old PC dungeon crawlers had that pretty badly. Especially since, again, they were usually script-based, so there's usually one method to progress, and that's it. I mean, my pen's right here. And, my notepad's right here. But if I'm being honest, this is more work-related than anything else. Okay, so I'll try to start calling you by the name that's actually written there. I'm not going to add the 2099 thing, though. I don't do numbers. Not unless I'm actually formally thanking someone. Like, I actually say Myron97 when I say thank you to him for, you know, putting money towards a run or whatever. We have a huge thank you list down here. Holy crap. I mean, it's that or I could call you Zal. Would you prefer I call you Zal instead of Zalok? Because I can do that. I can also call you Zalk. Okay, so Zalok you shall remain. This is nighttime, isn't it? Damn it! Well, like I said, I'm not really doing it on purpose, Light. It's just, like I said, once a name gets stuck in there, it gets stuck in there. Takes some work to get it unstuck. Took me forever to start calling Tessie, Tessie. Oh, hey. I could buy a home. Not sure why I'd do that, since the world's ending, but, you know. Oh, I believe you, Blue Wolf Alex. I've had that problem too. In fact, one of the problems I have, and I'm going to have to do this going forward in the In-Depth Classic series, is I know so many of the older RPGs so well that I'm going to have to actually kind of mentally distance myself from my knowledge of the game to try and analyze how well it directs you on where you should go. FF6 is a perfect example, and I actually someone brought that up during the Treasures of the Rudras run. And I had to think about it. Is there any point in which FF6 doesn't make it clear where to go? And there is. There's actually 3 points in the game where it's not clear where you should go next. Now, I personally think FF6 is one of the more mild versions of the where do I go syndrome, mostly because the nature of the flow of the game is very directed in general. But, point stands, there are 3 points where it's like, you want me to go where? Why don't we do that quest while we wait? Because I don't feel like doing that, so... Let's do... Yeah, that.
The fountain, the water particles.
I mean, I'll try very hard. If you want me to call you something, I'm pretty big on respect. I mean, speaking as someone who had to change my show name from Arsha and Gaia to Lore, and who very much wants people to stop calling him Arsh. By the way, hi, Sonashi. That's yet another reason I should delete all the old and terrible videos. Could I do what games blind? Oh. So, the number of games I could do blindfolded... Oh, hang on. Here. Have some money. Thank you. The amount of games that I could play blindfolded is pretty small. For the same reason that the amount of games most people can play blindfolded is pretty small. It doesn't matter how well you know it. What matters is how well the game can direct you without your eyes. In other words, the only games you can really functionally play blindfolded are games that have very good sound design. Which is why Ocarina of Time is a game that multiple people have beaten blindfolded. And yes, Baron. It's already done, Platty. Deleted. And the controversial channel is deleted. Sorry. Hell, even FF4 is actually pretty directed now that I think about it. Like, it doesn't really tell you where some optional stuff is. You just kind of got to stumble into it. But most of the main plot stuff in FF4, even in the original SNES version, is pretty much the next step that's right in front of you. Like, it's very linear, actually. For good and for bad. Whoop. There we go.
They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves. Idiots.
I'm actually trying to think of other games that could be done blindfolded thanks to sound design. I mean, obviously there's Punch-Out, the classic. Is there a point where a game is too direct? Yeah, when it's called Final Fantasy 13. I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding, but that's the low-hanging fruit. So, the ideal for me when it comes to game design is when the game is very directed, but not mandatory. What I mean by that is... Give me a second to think of a good example here. Oh, no, I've got the perfect example. I really do. Final Fantasy VI. Hear me out. So in Final Fantasy VI, in the World of Ruin, there's a moment where you have just gotten the airship, the Falcon. And you're like, woo, and, you know, it's a great scene. And a bird shows up. And it's a cutscene you can't avoid, because there's no skippable cutscenes in FF6. So a bird shows up, and it's like, woo, woo. And you're like, where's that bird going? And the bird goes to this specific location. And then the game literally takes control of your airship and drives you there. Okay? That's directed. The game is obviously telling you, go here next. However, and this is the ideal for me, then you don't have to. The moment you get to this location, the moment the game basically gives you the direction on where to go next, you're free to go anywhere. You have the airship. Congratulations. You could go do whatever in whatever order. Now, obviously that's kind of an exception, because that's a brilliant design point right there, and in fact is, in my opinion, one of the things the World of Ruin does best. But that would be the ideal for me. Direction without limitation. So, like, for example, FF13, just because it was brought up, does not have direction without limitation. FF13 doesn't actually even have direction at all. FF13 has limitation. There is always only one place you can go to and one direction you can walk in. And I mean this sincerely. Like, for example, anytime you start a new dungeon area or a dungeon path, and it's usually like 2 or 3 zones connected into one block, all you can do is move between these 3 zones, and there's only 2 directions to go to, forward or back. There's no actual way to go back, or there's no benefit to going back other than grinding. So there's nothing whatsoever directing you, if that makes any sense. It's just continue going forward. Now, we could argue rather fairly that Final Fantasy X does a fairly similar thing. except for the fact that several of FF10's own areas are not quite so linear, and as several other people have pointed out, including myself during the Final Fantasy lore run, Final Fantasy X is very linear, but much better designed linearity. All you have to do is look at the sheer length and emptiness of the linearity of FF13 versus the small, far denser linearity of FF10. Now, we could argue that this is a matter of hardware limitations, because this is a PS2 game versus a PS3 game, but the harsh truth is that any given zone in Final Fantasy X is relatively short. And there's usually at least one cutscene or event that happens in that zone, optional or mandatory. Usually more than one, actually. And so, even though it's a single corridor, there's several things to do there. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's reasonably well designed visually so that there's a lot going on in a relatively short period of time. By contrast, FF13 has really long sections where nothing happens. There's no events, there's no cutscenes, there's no nothing. There's just a long corridor that you walk down, fighting random encounters, and then you get to the end, and then you go through another long section, right? You get my point. In other words, Final Fantasy X would have the same issues if it was worse designed. Imagine if, when you're going down the Mi'ihen High Road in Final Fantasy X, that there was no cutscenes, there's no chocobos, there's no issue with the Eater, there's no side people you can talk to do the summon battles, there's no cutscenes explaining how that Orin works. Imagine if none of that was there. No NPCs to talk to, no significant chests to grab, no anything. Just one long corridor that you walked down with random encounters and nothing else. Because that's FF13. And you see the difference in contrast between the two. I'm sorry, I don't know why I got off on this topic. Moving on. Hi, Spinobi.
Ah, there you are. Glad you made it. So, how was it? I heard quite some stories about this trial, and was never sure what to make of it.
Yeah, it was different than I was expecting. How come you're still here? I thought you wanted to be on a boat to Kyle.
Yeah, I changed my mind. Come, let's go upstairs. It'll be worth it.
Okay, he's gonna murder me, isn't he? He's gonna get up there and he's gonna take out my bones and make wind chimes out of them. Metroid is also a unique example of a corridor-type game. Because a lot of early Metroid I'm saying that wrong. A lot of the early part of Metroid games are very directed. You have very, very few places you can go. But the nature of a Metroid game, and this is literally, in my opinion, one of the definitions of a Metroidvania, is that the places you can go to slowly expand. Like if you can imagine the valves being released. I've talked about this before. The valves being released as more and more, as the water, and the water being the player, can reach more and more parts of it, so it just kind of stretches out until you can go everywhere. That's the nature of a Metroidvania to me. So, while it is very directed, Super Metroid, Metroid Prime, Metroid Fusion, all of them have this super directed thing, they're not really aggressively linear. Except for Other M, which is actually a pretty linear game, and in my opinion, one of the biggest things it does wrong, but let's move on. Yes, this is a Skyrim mod. Spinobi. A very, very large Skyrim mod. What? What do you want? Oh, you want me to go up? Okay, fine.
There we are.
Of course you follow me. They all do.
Oh my god. I turned the volume on those down. I bet you wouldn't even believe me. Well, thank you, first of all, very, very much, Vigilant. As ever and always. I will put that into the Vigilant Fund, which is down here. There it is. There we go. And I mean, you're right. We absolutely disagree with that. However, you are right. Vrook is always honest to us in both games, except for the deception he does in KOTOR 1. But other than that deception, he's always honest to us. And yeah, he is he's the kind of person I just want to smack. But I get you. I get where you're going with on that. Yeah, I know, right, Okami? Just think about it. Think about the nightmare. Look, I'm just saying, if I could just smack him in the stupid face. Oh, God! No!
They all do.
You see my problem here. How do I... Hang on. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I was just going to go and check the audio balance, and they have changed the layout so much that I now have lost my donations tracker. Because they changed where it is. And now I got to figure out where it is. Give me a second, please. Okay, they moved it down. I found it! I found it! Okay. It's from If and But. Okay, thank you very, very much, If and But. As always, I do much appreciate your support. What's BFG 2? Oh, never mind. Battlefleet Gothic 2. Never mind. We're cool. We're cool. Okay, so... That is... And then... Okay. There we go. Jotted down for both Battlefleet and for Mechanicus. And thank you again. Let me see if I can fiddle with this really quick, because those are really loud. Like, maybe it undid it? How do I... God, they have completely changed the layout of this site. Not sure where anything is. Okay, here we go. Donations. Yeah, it is still at half volume. Who knew? Let's try this one. Turn it down by another half here. And this one by another half. And I think we need to do another one. Yep, we have to do a third one, because there's 3, actually. Okay, save. Hopefully that'll turn it down even more to make it a little bit more tolerable, because holy crap. Okay. No thanks. I don't do drink or smoking.
Oh, pity.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
It was actually meant to be a little congratulatory gift for passing the trial. But it's your call.
I don't drink or smoke. What do you want from me? Listen. I will burn you alive.
Nothing better than a good pipe and a nice sight to go along with it. It's always sad to see how few people can truly appreciate these things. Anyway, tell me, my friend, what is it that drives you?
Power.
Oh. Since we met. I mean, it's not like anyone's forcing you to play errand boy for Orenthiel, is there? And with your abilities, you could make a fortune as a mercenary. Not to mention the danger you put yourself in. Securing the excavation site, passing the trial, they certainly haven't been easy on you so far.
Oh, by the way, If and But, sorry, I meant to respond to what you talked about. Obviously, since I'm not even sure when I'll be streaming again after we finish Enderal, I don't think you'll be missing too much, but I hope you have a good trip. So, and I don't really think of Nihilus as a Sith, if I'm being honest, but I do agree that he's absolutely terrifying. I'll go with the obvious answer. The cleansing is real and we're in this together, and I might as well help fight it.
Makes sense.
We all live together.
In any case, it's interesting to see how you've gotten from being a magically gifted refugee to the center of all this. Kind of reminds me of a woman I used to travel with. Alicia. No matter where she went, she always ended up in the eye of the storm.
How'd you end up traveling with her?
We got hired for the same job. Usually I work better on my own, but this partnership was refreshing in every aspect. It felt good to know someone's got your back for a change, especially with the kind of work I do. Which is why we decided to stick together after that first job. And it went great, at least initially. She just cared too much, you know? Yeah, she was a mercenary, but she only ever picked the jobs where she thought she could help people, or at least do no damage. As you can imagine, that doesn't always work out in my profession, and whenever it didn't, she really took it to heart. It was sad, if you think about it, really.
Oh, that sounds terrifying and awful. I'm gonna go stab myself now. What I do for Mother's Day? I streamed. However, the day before Mother's Day, I called my mom. Wished her happy Mother's Day. Talked to her about 40 minutes. And I got her a custom t-shirt, which I designed myself, which basically had pictures of me and my niece and a bunch of other stuff, all kind of designed into a heart shape, put together, and gave that to her. So she apparently rather liked it. I actually told this story Sunday, but it actually arrived when I was on the phone with her by complete coincidence. So you were a couple, I take it.
We traveled together and we had sex, so yes, according to most people's definition of it, we were a couple.
Okay, a little TMI, but whatever. So how come you split up?
Well, we were simply too different. I guess that's what it comes down to. Let's face it, I'm a pathetic white knight, and an even worse world savior. Licia and I, we were just bound to clash. We were lovers, then friends, then lovers again, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, that was just too much for me. Too extreme. Too absorbing.
So you split up.
Split up. Yeah, that's one way to put it. But anyway, enough about me. What about you? Has there ever been someone in your life? Or have you always been the lone wolf?
For over 10 years at this point. Oh, you mean my character. Once upon a time.
I see. Maybe you can tell me about that one day. I'd love to hear it. I, for one, have had enough drama to last me a lifetime. Sex is fine, but I guess I'm just not naive enough for anything else anymore. Love, love, love. People have such wrong-headed expectations, really. Sometimes I think it would help us all to finally admit that there isn't that much that separates us from the apes. Anyway, why don't you tell me a little more about this trial? I heard you passed it together with that quiet girl, Kalia. What's she like? I've heard some stories about her.
Explain.
That's just life, I think. There comes a point when you've done all you can. My. We've certainly lost track of time, haven't we? I really need to hit the hay for a couple hours now. I'll have to go look for some new work tomorrow. And I've heard about a nobleman who's looking for a sellsword. That is, if Herenthiel or old Bushybeard doesn't have a new job for me by then. Say what you want about them. Their pay is beyond generous. I'll see you around, my friend.
You know, I don't mind being your financier. Oh, hey, a wine. I'm not going to take it because I don't drink, but thanks for the offer. Ooh, hey, I wonder if I can survive this. Oh, yeah, I can totally survive this. Skyrim, what am I talking about? There, boom, done. God, that's like a 30-foot drop, or a 10-meter drop. Okay, so it's still not day, it looks like. Why are we talking about Yoda? I must have missed something. Oh, would a lecture from Yoda be fun or confusing? Oh, it'd be fun. Yoda was actually done reasonably well in the Clone Wars, in my opinion. His biggest flaw was that he attempted politics every now and again. Which I know sounds like a strange flaw, but trust me. He's, not good at it. It would be like me trying to dance. Like, it doesn't matter how much I try. It doesn't matter how, much effort I put. I'm a terrible dancer. Alright, hang on. Maybe here? No. Still not seeing those sign... Oh, wait. Maybe this. Aha! Okay. I finally found a soundpost. No. What would happen is Rook would have a mysterious accident after deciding to go off on his own and fund the creation of a clone army. That's what Rook would have done in the prequels.
Greetings.
Whoa. That is a cool outfit. Can I have that? Hang on. I really want that outfit.
I heard.
Hang on. Let's become invincible really quick here. Damn it, she's essential. Why is everyone essential in this stupid game? Fine. I just wanted her clothes.
Now look at that. It's the Prodigy.
Hi?
Huh?
So were you finding anything from the old mercenaries?
Not much. We haven't yet heard from the keepers old Aranthiel sent overseas, but their armory and weapons seem to belong to an order of mercenaries who normally operate in Nerem or Kira. We'll see.
Okay, cool. See you around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can still think Yoda's wise. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing with me. I mean, honestly. Oh my god, he's invincible. He really is. Holy crap. Ah! It's a bard that can resist the console. Run. Run. Oh god, I can't get away from him. Oh god, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Ah! Run. God dang it, no. Right, I'm an idiot. Hang on. Where is he? Where?
Malphas's blessing.
No. I will give you money to shut up. Yep. Nip. No. Okay.
If they knew anything about art.
Fine. Hello.
Yeah, I need a room for the night.
Come to the right. Music to my ears. If you need anything else, drink.
Oh god, that would be terrible, Baron. So no, I don't think Yoda was particularly wise during Empire. I think he was certainly more wise in every way than his old counterpart. But I do still think he was a deeply flawed person who was still rather stuck in his old ways. Just not as stuck. So I need to get to, let's say, here. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, kill her, Johnny, kill her. I mean... Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
But that's how it is.
Where's the exit? Where's the exit? Ah! Get out of my way. I need to go to Isengard. With some hobbits. And a loading screen. Ah, there we go. Yes, I am truly artful.
You're not from around here, are you?
I am totally from around here.
Monsieur?
Hey, you're an adventurer, aren't you?
No, shut up. I'm not an adventurer. What are you talking about? What have they been telling you?
Oh my, now who is... My wares it is you want to see. I promise you, they'll bring you glee.
Stab. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay. No, Baron. Yeah, that would not be good, Platty. I can agree with that statement. Wrong button. 18, so I need 7.
My wares it is you want to see. I promise you, they'll bring you glee.
Shut up. Oh, right. Hey, you want to buy some stuff? How about these health potions? Those were something, right? I probably shouldn't have done that. Whatever. That should be enough to buy all 7. Yep, okay. Oh, god damn it, did I really screw up that badly? Yes, I did. God dang it. God, you can tell I am not paying attention today. Try that again. Suddenly, I got 100 more pennies because I didn't screw up my menuing.
They'll bring you glee.
It's literally the only reason this is happening. I screwed up my menuing earlier. There we go. So I had enough money. And then I was an idiot. Make sure I've read these. Stupid helmet. There we go. Now our elementalism is 25. We still have more learning points too, but we're completely out of money.
I've seen this face. My wares it is you want to see. I promise you, they'll bring you glee.
I think that enemy got the point. Those are going to be expensive. Holy crap. Why do you talk in rhyme?
My wares it is.
No, why do you talk in... God, I hate Skyrim.
My wares it is.
No! What I'm asking you...
I promise you, they'll bring you glee.
...is the third dialogue option, not the top one, the bottom one.
Oh, this one is curious. I'm sad to have to tell you this, even though I'm not furious. My secrets stay in the abyss. Blazes.
That one didn't make a lot of sense.
You're right. I didn't see that question coming, that's all. But how goes the saying, practice makes perfect? Next time I'll be prepared.
Well, but why are you rhyming?
The business didn't go well in the past moons, that's all. Hardly any travelers or outlanders anymore. And the arcanists of the Order prefer to get their supplies elsewhere since Grand Master Arenthiel has returned. Well, since I have a son to feed, I had to think of something. That tip with the rhyming came from my brother-in-law, Doral. He's with the Sickle and came back from a journey to Calais just recently. He said that he visited a lecture from a Chilean merchant there. And he said that in order to be successful nowadays, one needs a, unique selling proposition. Yes, that's how he called it. Something to distinguish him or herself from the competition.
Right, so poetry is your unique selling proposition.
Correct. I know I'm not the best poet, but I'm sure you'll remember bartering at Emberlord and Fireflash better than with that goat-faced vagabond woman Stonehand down at the market.
Okay, goodbye forever. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my.
I'll probably be back later. Once I have about 2,000 pennies, which is...
I've seen this face, so yes, hooray! What can I do for you today?
Why did you teleport outside, except I know why. That's actually a common Skyrim bug. See, I was in the middle of dialogue with her, and then I ported outside, so the game ported her to me, and now she's going back into her shop. I've actually seen that a couple times this very playthrough. That is a very common Skyrim bug. So anyways, time to kill a duck. Die! Ugh, hang on, let's save first, because this might be a crime. Okay, now die! Wait. Die. Die? Well, can't kill the ducks. The duck's not even there. Doesn't even have a frickin'... okay, so we did that. I guess we're just waiting now, aren't we? And of course there's no wait option, because why would there be?
Jesus, why is that stuff so expensive?
Apparently my one weakness is ducks. Who knew? Who knew? I mean, if you think about it, ducks would naturally survive the cleansing, right? After all, they're here next time. Nope. Okay, he's not singing. We're okay. We're happy.
Hello.
Hi, go to hell. What is the god of feathers? The god of breadcrumbs?
Best wine in all of Enderal. Come, give it a try.
I haven't seen a single crash so far, Hazardous. So let's just do this. I'm gonna sleep for a day. Wow, this is taking a while. The god of money bins. No, hey, we're done. Thank goodness. Whoa, thanks for the bed. It was really uncomfortable. My neck hurts so badly right now. Actually, you ever wonder how much back and neck pain people had to have been in from older times when beds weren't comfortable or as comfortable? I mean, I have issues with the bed now. And that's not exactly a cheap bed that I have over there. Like, imagine sleeping on a bed of straw. Or wood. I've actually slept on the floor before. That's bad. That kills my neck. It's actually worse than that, Hazardous. I have stated my outright opinion that so far this mod is better than Skyrim.
Him of the Desert King.
So...
Walk blessed.
Sun, light as the night.
Ooh, feathers. Ritzy.
1,000 raindrops, red and small. Lo, from the velvet sky they fall.
So many strange faces. Well,
Oh god, that would be even worse, Dark Phoenix. The town's reasonably well laid out, and they do bypass the traveling problem a little bit. Actually, if anything, what I'm probably going to do is end up giving 2... Yes, he literally did, Platty. 2 pluses overall. I suppose I should put those in the hypothetical category, shouldn't I? Do. Hypothetical plus. Hypothetical plus. Hypothetical plus. Oh, there's actually 2 hypothetical pluses, aren't there? Let's see here. Nope. There's actually 3. By which I mean that. Come on. There we go. Fine game. What? Here. Stupid thing. I mean, vanilla Skyrim, Dark Phoenix Gaming. Which is how, if I ever did a review of Skyrim, I would be reviewing it. What's the name of this place? Ark? Is that where I am? Pretty sure. I am correct. Yes, this is Ark. So yes, that is a hypothetical plus to story, and a hypothetical plus to gameplay.
Yes.
Yeah, I've actually played Skyrim modless once, when it came out. That was back before they'd even released the mods pack kit, the dev kit. Actually, I'm not even sure if that's true. I feel like I did like a couple of brute force mods even back then. Spiders. But, yeah, no, I think that if I was to do an in-depth classic of Skyrim, it would rate worse than this game so far. Yeah, Sky UI, I mean, the default interface for Skyrim is awful. I'm sorry. Especially on PC, which it was not designed for. Hell, even with Sky UI, I'm still having issues. Did you notice earlier where I was talking to the shopkeep and it kept defaulting me to the thing I didn't have selected? Like, that's just a feature of Skyrim's UI right there. Ugh. And magic. God, don't even get me started about the magic system in Skyrim. Or how messed up crafting is. I would give a plus to Skyrim for dungeon design. I legitimately would. I think it's actually good, and I actually think they do a better job than previous Elder Scrolls games have done. And I stand by that statement. Sorry, dealing with something really quick. Shouldn't be long. Okay. Okay. I do think the brown problem is real. I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's brown. It's actually literally a brown lighting on a gray background with brown furniture. God, it's so brown. Anyway, sorry.
Finally, come with me.
Who the hell are you?
Forget about it.
Okay. Sorry. The UI for Oblivion and PC is serviceable. I don't think I'd call it good or bad, because it's something you have to get used to, but works fine once you do, which isn't good. But it's also not actually, like, I've seen so much worse interface. I'd have to actually go back and replay Oblivion to really judge it.
Climb the stairs, go to the statue and speak with the Grand Master. No idle talking, no stupid gazing, all right?
Oogie.
Very well. The entire third and fourth sigils are gathered in there.
Sigils.
So show some respect. And now, walk blessed, brother.
Also, it's Jif. Sorry.
It is time. Come forward, Prophet. I know what you are feeling. Mistrust. For it is the first time in the history of the Order that a stranger will receive the holy consecration. You consider it a treason against our charter, and therefore against us all. And indeed, it is true that traditions have strengthened the Order. We have ruled this land for millennia, and for millennia we have prevailed. And I know that what happened 2 years ago has unsettled you. Yes, we are in a crisis. Yes, our foundation seems to be shattered. And now you believe that I profane even what little is left by consecrating a pathless one. But you are wrong. It was always people who have given strength to the Order. People like you and me. Yes, we did serve the Lightborn, but because they embodied an idea. The idea of peace through stability. And even now, after their demise, we will pursue this idea. We are facing a threat that endangers the world as we know it. And to fight it, we need one thing above all others, the readiness to make sacrifices for the greater good. This man, like Novice Sakarish, has shown this readiness. He is talented and has a gift, and thus carries responsibility. But instead of running from this responsibility, he faced it and found us. Consecrated ones, repeat my words. This is the day when my old me dies away. For today, I receive the sigil.
What you said. No, the voice acting is actually very good for some of the characters, I agree.
This is the day when my old me dies away. For today I receive the sigil.
From now on, I live to protect, by sword and mind, the path, my land, and those who are without strength.
From now on I live to protect, by sword and mind, the path, my land, and those who are without strength.
Until death absolves me from my duty.
Until death absolves me from my duty.
Thus, you are elevated to keepers of the first sigil. Rise. Now let us all recite the holy words. Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor, in life as in death.
May your light guide me.
Leave now, brothers and sisters, and rest. We will need our strength.
Okay, so I'm not going to do any of that.
Armor at the Temple's Forge.
Okay.
After that, meet me in the Emporium. There's news.
Dun, dun, dun. What are the sigils?
Ranks. After a novice has passed the trial, he is raised into the first sigil. And over the course of years, if he proves to be worthy, into higher ranks, up to the fourth sigil, which is held by the Truchessa and the Grandmaster, me.
Cool. Well, see you around then.
Walk blessed.
Oh yeah, that's what I always do. It's the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning, is to walk blessed.
Walk blessed, Prophet.
Yeah, you already said that. Thanks, though. Thanks.
Walk
Hey,
blessed.
shut up.
And that's it. It feels strange.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get this close to you. Apologies.
Yes, kind of. You know, for the past 7 years, I have lived for this moment. And now I'm here. It's peculiar. Anyhow, let's talk when there's something new to talk about. Walk blessed, brother.
Don't you mean walk blessed? I'll let myself out, thanks. Shut up. I'm gonna walk cursed just for you. Oh god, what do you want to bet? I'm literally walking cursed. What do you want to bet? Literally cursed. Or we're a vampire. What if we're undead? Would that count as a vampire? I mean, we're not quite a vampire. We're just an undead. But I mean, we're halfway there, right? It'll be a shame if this game finally breaks our vampiric thing. I mean, we even had a vampiric connection in Anthem, for God's sakes. This is going to be it, guys. This is going to be our first game we've streamed in months, which doesn't have vampire stuff in it. Yeah, the guy who voiced the main villain is the same voice actor for Dr. Reed from Vampire, Dakota.
Isn't the notorious Prodigy?
Yeah, can I get my armor, please?
Right. The highly debated new keeper. You suddenly have caused some uproar. I'll give you that. So, robes, mail, or plate?
Well, that's actually a good question. Let's go plate.
Fine, here you go. And no matter what you think of all this, wearing this armor is an honor. Get that into your head. Most of us had to wait decades for it.
Yeah, but I'm the PC. So, you know. Let's see if my helmet is not crap for once. That would be nice. Armor. There it is. It's alright, I guess. How do I look? Actually, that is better.
Sure. You'll have to pay normally, though. As much as the Grandmaster favors you, metal and work don't come for free.
Aw. Let's get rid of the bucket, finally.
Walk blessed.
I like to think that after his... he's a vampire, he lives forever, so I like to think that basically Anthem is the future of that particular Earth.
Keep walking.
And like you say, the good doctor went to the stars, became obsessed with the Anthem, turned into a giant lava creature, you know, the works. Behold my glory, my glorious, glorious run animation.
Well met.
Huh? What do you want?
I want you to get out of my way, dude. Jeez.
You know how these bureaucrats are, but they will do it.
Very good. Thanks for your efforts, my friend.
Don't mention it. I just hope you know what you're doing. You know, many see the course the Order has taken since you came back as disquieting. Narazul's mages in the temple, an outlander as a keeper. It's a lot to take in.
I know, Jorik, but someone has to deal with the threat. And if we don't, no one will.
That is a heavy piece of paper. Look at that.
So, you actually made it, Prodigy. Congratulations. Even though I'm not sure everyone is as glad about that as the Grand Master.
That is the Prophet, isn't it?
Prophet, did you find your way around?
Oh, yeah.
Good. It is important that you get adjusted to this place. It will be the base of all operations to come. Right now, we are still in the dark as to the true nature of this cycle. All we have are fragments, but we will change that. There are 2 trails we have found. I want you to go after both of them. The first one has to do with the stone fragments from Old Rashengrad. Pegast has not yet told you, but all of them together form a so-called sigilled stone, which we urgently need. The Arcanists have already put it together, but we still lack a part of the ritual to activate it. And for that, we need the memory of a dead person. The second trail revolves around a discovery we made in the Heartland. It could be a significant, if not the only prospect we have in this fight. Where do you want to start?
Sure, the stone.
It's simple. I've told you that the Pyreans knew about the cycle, and that they too battled it before they vanished. The sigilled stone was a magical defense they created to protect themselves from the Red Madness.
Protect how?
Through small fragments that segregate once a certain ritual is performed on it. Wear one of these fragments and it will serve you like a shield for your spirit. The stone won't produce enough for all citizens of Ark, but enough for all of us keepers and the guard. The problem is that we lack knowledge about this ritual, and those who have it have been dead for millennia.
So, memory of a dead person.
Correct. The entire plan revolves around a discovery which is exhibited in the Chronicum. The frozen corpse of a Pyrean, which a fisherman found adrift in the Northern Sea some years ago.
So how exactly are we going to access his memories?
Yes, the ice prevented his body from decaying. But go to the Chronicum and speak to Archmagister Maragil. He will be able to explain it better than I can.
Okay, sure. I can do that. I'm cool with that. Can I get the other quest too?
Walk blessed, Prophet.
Nope. Okay, just checking. So, that's cute. Let's check something here. So, I've praised the writing of this game several times, but I have a really horrible feeling. Like a really horrible feeling. How many of you guys have played a video game, or read a book, or watched a show, or a movie, where there's some destined thing that's going to happen that they evade at the last minute? They break the cycle, or they stop destiny, or they alter fate. How many times have you seen that happen? God, this is really riding up on me today. Urgh. What's going on with my coat? There we go, that's better. Yeah, it's common, right? It's super duper common. What do you want to bet we're gonna fail in this game? Seriously. What do you want to bet they're going to do this, the usual build-up and the classic arc of we must, defy our fate and we must end the cycle, and we're going to fail. And the cycle will continue, and that'll be the end. Like, what do you want to bet? Because I've been trying to get a... Oh my god, that's our first crash! Holy crap! Yes, crash. I'm actually sad that that's a crash that happened. But no, I've been trying to get a feel for the overall approach to storytelling that they're using here, and that's very much the vibe I get so far. Is that they're going for that kind of playing with the audience is what I call that. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. How many of you guys have ever heard of webcomics?
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what...
Once upon a time, I was actually writing and drawing a webcomic. In fact, it's actually a story I intend to continue someday. It was called A Slight Variance.
what's so spectacular about this? To me, our pal here looks like your average...
I'll tell you more in a minute.
Well, he isn't. Do you see this marking on his forehead? That's a symbol of the Ashian, one of the two priest castes who reigned over the Pyrean Empire like the Lightborn did over Vin. He was no high priest, but more than an acolyte. Let's just hope he participated in the manufacture of the sigil stone back in the Pyrean era.
Well, hoping can't hurt. But look, we have company.
Dalvarek, Archmagister, how's the situation?
Walk blessed, Grandmaster. We're fine. Everything is ready. So this is him?
Yes, this is the Prophet.
Interesting. Truly interesting. I imagined you to be different. I'm Lexiel Marigil, Archmagister of the Holy Order. Pleased to make your acquaintance. So, where do we start? Has the Grandmaster already informed you of the goal of this mission? Correct. Now you're wondering, how will this be possible? This is where the Word of the Dead comes into play. An old relic we'll need to find.
The Word of the Dead? I thought that was a legend.
No, it exists. And we also know where. Just so you understand, the Word of the Dead is an artifact that allows entering a deceased person's mind to relive his last memories as if they were your own.
And you want to do just that with our frozen pal here. This is the grand plan, right?
Right. You'll need to locate the Word of the Dead, teleport the Pyrean's body to you, and then enter his thoughts. And there you'll have to look for the words of the ritual.
Okay, where is it?
Well, this is...
There's an old manor in Enderal's west that belongs to an old collector of artifacts. We received a tip that the Word of the Dead is in his possession.
Hang on. Are you talking about this odd fellow with the puppets? The aged man from the folk song?
I am.
So you want me to steal from him?
You won't take it. It will be enough to find it, use it on the Pyrean, and then leave. You will travel to the manor with Dalvarek, wait for nightfall, and then introduce yourself to the aged man as a fellow collector of artifacts. Then you will offer him this brooch, and if all goes well, he will offer you a quarter for the night to negotiate in the morning. Then it's all a matter of timing. Sneak out of your room, look for the Word of the Dead, and teleport the Pyrean to you.
Right. Can't we just ask him or pay him?
A good question, but no. The aged man is special, so to speak. Even the Lightborn ordered us to let him live in peace. The Black Guardian knows why. So, if we have to trick him, we will at least do it inconspicuously, which is why you and the mercenary are well suited for the task. No one will connect your faces to the Holy Order.
Okay, so how do I use it?
Archmagister?
Yes, well, that is a good point. We don't know, because we don't even know what the artifact looks like. But, how goes the saying? The proof of the eating is in the pudding.
We'll manage somehow. And even if we don't, it definitely sounds like an adventure.
It's a great responsibility, be aware of that. But I have faith in both of you. Now get going as soon as you can. This mission will be fruitful. I can feel it.
And there they go. Yep, just meet me at the Myrids Tower at the Western Cliff. I'll go grab my stuff now.
So anyways, the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, webcomics. So, now slight variance. It was an actual story, and I did actually connect it to the extant and everything like that. I didn't even have a term back then, because, you know, nobody was calling it the Imperium, and I hadn't come up with a term yet. But anyways, it was connected, and I knew how it was connected, but it was basically designed to be kind of a silly, lighthearted story, starring a character called Lore. Now, don't you thinking, what? His name was Lore? No, his name was my name. But we're just going to call him Lore for the sake of this story. So, one of the characters in it was a character named Lore, who turned into this doomy, you know, and now I shall conquer the world kind of a character, right? Now, the entire point here was that this was a webcomic I had designed for me and my friends and my family. I didn't expect anyone else to ever read it. In other words, I knew my audience. And my audience, and my friends and my family, they all kind of do that whole make fun of, oh, haha, lore is super evil and obsessed with power kind of thing as sort of a jokey thing. So kind of making it pseudo lighthearted jokey thing with the character of lore was playing into that. It meant that nobody was paying attention to anything else that was going on in the story until it was too late, because, and I don't want to spoil the story because I actually want to tell the story someday, but long story short, Lore wasn't a villain, and he wasn't me. It's complicated, but nobody saw it coming because I was playing to my audience. Does that make sense? I had built the whole story as if they were expecting A, with hints of B going along the way, and then B hit, and it was like, oh, crap! Now, I don't want to talk too much about that story, because nobody wants to hear about that. What I do want to talk about is Enderal, because that's what this feels like. This feels like Enderal is playing to its audience. Because they know we've beaten fate and destiny and cycles before. I mean, how many times, like I said earlier, how many times have we seen any form of fiction where it's like, we got this? Ergo, that's one of the biggest feelings I get and why I think that we're actually going to fail. Now, we might not fail and then it's death forever. There might be something we could do at the last minute to mitigate it or whatever, but I do think we are actually going to fail at breaking the cycle. We'll see, I guess. Well, I stand by what I said in Discord. A slight variance might be the darkest story I've ever written. It was a pretty bad point in my life when I was writing it. And it's also probably the closest to a comedy I've ever written. That's not true. The second closest to a comedy I've ever written. But it only starts out as a comedy. It gets dark in a hurry. I'd have to rename some characters nowadays. That's amusing, Dakota. I like the idea. Someone tried to kill me. Yes! Thank goodness!
Monsieur?
Oh my. Another exhausted soul, aren't you?
I'm not exhausted. Actually, I totally am. Never mind. She knows! Shit, where am I going? Way down there. Yeah, okay. Hang on. Where's the nearest cliff thing? Oh, it's actually down here. Sweet. Okay, now I'm exhausted.
Yes?
Hello, good to hear. Where to?
Some shifts never end.
We just went through a tree. I didn't Command and Conquer. Obviously. I barely had time to watch the Vader Obi-Wan thing finally, which is extremely well done, by the way. It's actually funny. Once upon a time, I actually did a lightsaber fight choreography. This was back in high school for a video project. And that took like weeks to lay out every single move and every single step, and then to memorize it all, and then to get the two actors, neither of which was me, to also memorize it all. Good lord, I have so much more respect for choreographers after that.
Walk blessed, friend. Where are you headed?
To this guy. Hey, you. Hey.
Ah, there you are. Ready to go?
Let's go.
Wonderful. Here, this is the place where the aged man's manor is supposed to be. Lead on. I'll follow you.
So I'm gonna look dumb here, Platy. You ready for this? I don't know what you're talking about. My stupidness knows no bounds.
Let's push on.
Anyways, that is a Myrid? I forget how they pronounce it. It's a thing. Just think of it like a griffin. Or a hippogriff. Or any other creature in World of Warcraft that's a flight path creature. And we're dead. Okay. Like, as soon as I started that fight and I saw the kind of damage they were doing, I was like, this is...
Where are you headed?
We're gonna die.
Ah, there you are.
So much
Wonderful.
to do,
Here,
so little
this is the
time.
place where the...
Several times, right? It's funny because,
Take your time, I'll wait.
I've actually mentioned several times that almost every single thing I read about this, every forum post, every Reddit thread, every review site said that this game is this mod is very, very difficult. Gotta admit, the difficulty curve is strange. But yes, I have died many times. Oh my gosh, it crashed. You know, it's funny you say that, Cubic, because I died so many times because I wasn't a mage. When I switched to being a mage, I stopped dying. That's why I've been kind of focusing on it. Ahem. Yeah, I'm getting that feeling. We'll see. I mean, it's Skyrim. Cheating is the easiest thing in the world, and it's built right in. I already give a positive for that. The console is awesome. But, yeah, there's no respec. And I'm already like halfway up the elementalist tree, so I'm kind of stuck being an elementalist. So... Hang on, it's being buggy. There we go. We're back. Oh, it didn't even save. Okay.
Walk blessed, friend. Ah, there you are. Wonderful. Here, this is the place where
So
the
much
aged
to
man's
do,
manor is
so
supposed to
little
be.
time.
Lead on. I'll follow you. Eager to explore, aren't you?
Come
Take
on.
your time, I'll wait.
Come on.
I can use a break anyway.
Come on. Come on.
Ah, there you are. Let's push on.
Where is he? What's funny is what crashed it last time was me hitting quick save. I'm not even kidding about that. Oh, speaking of which, have we leveled lately? Don't even remember. Looks like no. Yeah, we're gonna go kind of focusing on elementalism. Like full tilt, really. Yeah, we have no points. What we do have... Wait, I'm sorry, what did that say? God, that's like the 5th typo I've seen. Look on the right side of the screen. Elementarism. Or maybe that's not a typo, because it says it multiple times over there, elementarism. Whereas that calls it elementalism. So maybe elementalism is actually the typo? Whatever. Doesn't matter that much. What does matter is what I was doing here, which I don't remember. Ah, right, I was doing this. I like elementalism better. Elementarism just sounds weird. Like that's a religious order based on elementalism or something.
Still alive? Good. Let's go. We shouldn't waste any more time.
Gotcha. Well, I will look at it at some point, Pletty. Right after I die to these wisps. And he is down. And I'm out of mana. And I'm dead. And yeah, I know this is originally a German thing. I'm not gonna ding it for those issues. Okay, one down. What do you mean, Adam? I mean, it's Skyrim with a different leveling system. Jesus, they're fast. Alright, whatever. I accept death. It's faster. Okay, hang on. I can do one thing I didn't to make that a little bit better. Maybe two things. Two things I could do. First is to not waste my stamina before I even get into battle. Okay, one down. I have to admit I'm not super impressed with this, though, and you know why? Because I'm on easy. This is with the difficulty cranked down. And this is still happening. However, I have no doubt that if anybody who has actually designed this mod was talking, they'd just be like, well, why aren't you doing such and such? Okay, that didn't work at all. No, that's not... crafting is different, leveling is different, magic is different. Combat's the same, as you can see.
Eager to explore, aren't you? Take your time, I'll wait. I can use a break anyway.
I don't know, Ryokami. I think I do. I think I have a summon. So we're gonna Skyrim this a bit. I mean, my elementalism is at 25. I haven't been completely ignoring my leveling. I basically have dumped all of my money into raising it. If that's not sufficient, well, then we have a difficulty curve problem, which is why I prefer not to cheat for these, so I can see the parts of the terrain that I didn't finish making like that. Now, the problem is I'm probably not going to be able to get back up. It's a lot easier to maintain height in Skyrim. Ah, whoop, we're in the water. Yeah, we're probably screwed now. Yeah, I wonder if there's any scaling in this game. Just occurred to me, because Skyrim had weird scaling. It had scaling, but it was weird the way they implemented it. Oblivion had awful scaling. Morrowind had none. Because the goal is to avoid cheating, Elizabeth. In order to judge the game on its own merits. Which means I have to go through these wisps. I'm going to still try to avoid them, I'm just going to avoid them differently. And he's super dead from the wisps. But that's okay. Yeah, Skyrim scaling is weird. I still don't care for it. I still wish they didn't do it at all, but whatever. At least it's not Oblivion scaling, which is just... What is with all these wooden people? Who are... Oh god, those are spiders. Right. Okay. Yeah. True enough, Adam.
So this is where he lives. Huh. This aged man definitely knows how to make himself comfortable. I guess now it's time to wait for nightfall. We wouldn't want this guy to take the artifact, pay for it, and have us leave right away.
Of course I did, Adam.
Alright. I think that's enough. Now let's see how we can get in there. These busts look interesting.
Yeah, let's just camp literally right outside his wall. I'm sure he won't notice. Hello?
Yes? What do you want?
Walk blessed, monsieur. Are you the...
I'm the servant, so no, I'm not. And if you're looking for charity, you've come to the wrong place.
No, we're not beggars. We are merchants. We were told your master is some kind of collector. We think we have something that might interest him.
Do you now? So what could two traveling merchants dressed in rags have that might be of interest to my master?
Well, we have this necklace.
This is the silver brooch of a seraph. Where did you get this?
From a keeper.
Uh-huh. Well then, this changes the situation. You may enter. Plus, forgive my harshness. I misjudged you. Unfortunately, Master Gages is currently playing music, and will be at least until dawn. But you can make yourself comfortable in the guest room. He will see to you in the morning.
Okay, that sounds good. Today we wouldn't have made it back to Ark anyway. Just try to get a Myrid Warden to fly in this weather.
Hmm.
So, a nice house you've got here. So it's just you and your master who live here, right? People talk about him a lot.
Please, let's just save the small talk. You're here for business.
So, I'm starting to wonder if those wooden statues are things that other people are seeing in lore, or if it's just someone else messing with us, because no one else has acknowledged them. But if you remember, we actually saw those during the dream sequence earlier where the prophets were talking to us.
Master Gages will play through the night. My apologies if his music keeps you awake, but if you want a piece of advice, listen. You won't hear anything comparable in all of Vin.
Well, then we'll do just that. So I take it your master's an artist, right? I saw the puppets. They're interesting.
Interesting. Yes, that they are.
So now they acknowledge that they exist.
It always says art is unique because it allows us to see what our mind doesn't want us to see.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, we all have demons inside of us, don't you agree, Miser Dalvaric? Memories, truths about ourselves we've locked away somewhere in our unconscious.
Nah.
We don't want to confront them. True art surpasses all these barriers because it reminds us of who we truly are.
Interesting thought.
Hi, Mr. Goodcat. Make sure you voot, by the way.
All right, here we are. Make yourselves at home. I will inform you once the Master is ready to see you. By the way, call it intuition or premonition, but I somehow had the feeling we would have company tonight, and took the liberty of preparing a small meal. I'm afraid the meat is a little charred, but it should taste good. Now, please excuse me. I have to rest. It is late, and the day has been exhausting.
Oh god, not a charred piece of meat.
Sleep well. And thanks for your hospitality.
You're welcome.
Anything but a charred piece of meat. God, I can't move. Yeah, we have a unique situation, Adam and Mr. Goodcat, and that's what we're vooting on. I'm going to leave the voot up for at least the rest of the day, but I'm starting to jot down hypotheticals in case we are going to include everything. Run! Reaching for salvation. Why is she reaching down then? No!
There he goes. Call me paranoid, but this all went a little too smooth for my liking.
Nah, it's fine. He's also evil.
Yeah. For example, the fact that he was already standing near the gate when you rang, and that he lives with a man who's older than the Black Guardian, at least according to the legends. But, well, to each his own.
Yeah, alright, so now what?
Yeah. 1 or 2 hours at least, until this servant's asleep. I've got a skin of wine with me, so if you want, we could enjoy it in the meantime. I wouldn't touch this food if I were you. You could tell me about this trial while we're waiting. Or about anything, just distract me from those damn ugly puppets over there.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Goodcat. As always, much appreciate those subs and that support. Thank you.
Interesting thought.
If you'd like to put that towards anything, just let me know for future streams or future interest. And I don't know what else to say. Thank you again.
Thing about the last moment that lasts forever. Did you know that Kyrian mentalists are apparently able to sort of become aware in their dreams? And apparently, in a dream, one can exist free from time. There's a story about an arcanist who spent 1,000 years in a dream while he only slept 8 hours in his waking life. But, well, that's a topic on its own.
I think I've seen a Star Trek episode like that.
I think it's late enough for our little excursion now. Let's find that relic. There it is. Master Gaius' music that transcends all barriers. As jolly as this place.
The what, Adam? Never heard of that, sorry. Is that some kind of...
We have to find this artifact. Maybe he's hiding it in some kind of chest or a secret chamber. Let's look around.
Is that some kind of small-scale indie film, Adam? You know, one of those Coca-Cola projects? They will burn. Oh, okay. That's horrible. Yeah, I also have, like, no sneaking anythings. So... Or lockpicking. Okay, all these plaques just say they will burn. It's not encouraging. Please get out of my way. I have no idea, Caspian, because as I mentioned earlier, an inordinate number of people funded this. It's the whole list scrolling down here. Under me, I think? Yep, right here. Right here. Huge number of people put money towards this run. More than any other run I have ever done. I doubt we'll even supplant it, since, you know, the only time we would be able to do so is when I stop streaming for a while to work on YouTube again. Dreams. Okay, that's disturbing and horrible.
That looks like some kind of study. Maybe we could find something here.
That's a good question, Adam. You got it, Mr. Good Cat. Give me a second here. There we go. So noted. Thank you again, sir. I should probably have saved, because I have this weird feeling.
Maybe we should take a look at these bookshelves. They look kind of weird.
That, we're going to have, like, the music is our timer, basically. Hang on. That startled the hell out of me, but thank you very, very much, Caspian. As ever and as always, much appreciate those subs. Thank you. And I've put that into the distribute pile. So thank you again. Okay, so life, fall, pride. Actually, it's my. Sorry, my.
Now I get it. These books must be part of some kind of mechanism. Have you tried, I don't know, pulling on them or something like that? Huh?
It's not my pride fall. Is there another one I'm missing? That doesn't look like it. So we have my pride and fall. What order do you think it is, guys? Now, he mentions it actually in this letter right here. But, pride was my fall, is what he says here. But I don't see a was. I guess we could just use pride, my fall. So, pride. Good night, Adam. Hope your stomach feels better, fall. Nothing happens. I'm missing a book. Okay.
Huh?
Ha! That's weird.
Huh? That sounds good. Hey!
And then I die. That's pretty impressive for stonework. Hey, wait, no, there's loot over there. Let me go, game. God, it really likes to take control away from the player, doesn't it, for cutscenes? I suppose that makes sense. It adds stability. You know, less chance of bugging out or glitching out or screwing it up. Okay, this looks... 15 men on the dead man's chest. Hey-o ho ho and a bottle of rum. Hello?
Gages, why did you wake me? Are we there yet?
No, I just wanted to see how you were.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's kind of you. But don't worry so much about me, darling. I'll manage somehow. I'm sorry you have to go through all this, really. All this time, I can hardly imagine how hard that must be for you. But I still believe in our dream. I still do.
Really, game? You literally are not going to let me press it unless I'm over here? Fine. So that's terrifying and creepy. Probably just leftover burritos, Cloudy. That's why I buy them in bulk. Just think, I'll be cooking within a week. And it'll probably be terrible. Oh god. It's Ocarina of Time! We're gonna get down here and Ganondorf is the one who's been playing this whole time. That's horrifying looking. You know, they never explained what the Phazon was. At least I didn't see it. Oh, whatever. Let's see here. Save. Okay. Nope. Alright. Wow, this guy's a very talented pianist. He's actually making string accompaniments play. That's really impressive. Oh, I will take that. I need like 2,000 pennies right now. Oh yeah, that's true, Ryokami. Forgot about that. God, I don't know what the item's called. Did they give me a spell? They did. Good thing I know magic, huh? Well, we're here. And now to live out my final moments of a free, joyous life. I can't wait. Life is good. I've just seeded the final harvest. Next week I'll be building that extra log cabin that I really need for guests. It'll be wonderful. Everything will be awesome. Hello? Okay.
Who? By the highest being? You! I thought you were dead.
Why are you hovering there?
Jakal. He betrayed us. They're all dead.
What?
Yes, but it doesn't matter. We have to get away from here. His armies, they're everywhere, and they're killing everyone. What about Lilanya? Is she alright?
Yes, she's asleep. But where do you want to go? We're... Come on, get inside. We'll talk about it there. Our brother, he's here too. He arrived last night.
Kumar? I thought he was up north.
He was, yes. But he rode back when he heard about the siege. He wants to help defend the city. He will be angry when he finds out that you fled, you know?
Staying would have been suicide. He would understand.
Kumar, our...
I see it. Why are you here?
The Treasure Master betrayed us, and Jakal's troops have gone crazy. They're massacring their entire city. They said we...
I know that, but you didn't answer my question. Why are you here?
Where else should I be, damn it? The High Ones won. They won, and this accursed cleansing will happen, whatever it is. But if there's only the slightest chance that we can make it through, I will use it. Unlike you, I do have someone I need to take care of.
Let's hope she doesn't take after her father. Your cowardice disgusts me, brother. You never understood what it meant to be an Aishin.
I knew that would happen.
He's such a bulldog. For him, there's nothing but his goddamn honor.
At least since he lost Yalek, yes. He won't let us flee. You do realize that, right? He will force you to keep your oath, to stay and fight. To the death.
I will talk to him. We'll do this, sister, somehow.
Yes, of course we will. There's still some stew. I will prepare a bowl for you, all right? You go and look after the little one. I think she is slowly beginning to understand what's happening here.
Time to alter reality by stealing a cap. All right. With that, the butterfly effect has taken effect. I'll take the honey jar, too. Pooh will be happy at long last. By the way, this is a decent example of a Princess Peach section. Not perfect, because a Princess Peach section usually involves gameplay, not just story, but it is a similar concept. Okay. So, maybe it's past him? I didn't really go over there. Lavender, some ugly deity thing. Dude who won't actually talk to me, funnily enough. There we go. And we'll just lock that. Alright. Okay, can I leave? I can. I'm free! Free! Okay, seriously though. I guess we can talk to her? Let's try talking to her. Nope. Can't talk to the kid. That was funny. Your hand moves through it as you try to grasp it. You know, I could loot the food earlier. Aha! Aha! The Elder Scroll! Oh god, it really is. I have to memorize it. It's the Elder Scroll.
Go and get Peric. We're leaving. Well, isn't that good timing? I have been thinking, and I have decided that I will not let my only brother die as a deserter. We will ride to the city at first light and help with the defense.
That's not going to happen. I told you that. Zura and I will take Lelania and flee to the north. Come with us or don't, but you will not get in our way. Period.
Period. Thank the highest being that we're family, Peric. Just thank the
Kill them! Kill them all!
Oh, by the name of the sun, do something, Peric. Keep them out of here.
You and your cult, and now it's yours. This world.
Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it, damn it, damn it.
Hi, Upon a Time. What's up?
I swear.
You picked the wrong enemy.
More of them.
Someone's out there.
I hope the exams do go well once you get there, Upon a Time. I'm guessing that's going to be next week, when I might not be streaming. And we died. I'm guessing that would just keep escalating until eventually we died. Or we weren't supposed to die. Never mind.
You and your cult of a Dilgar are all dead, and now it's yours.
Damn it! More of them.
What the ass? Where did he go? One's out there.
Hey, super stealthy. No one will ever know we were here. Oh, Jesus. Hi. We've killed like 20 guys so far. I mean, if we could take out a platoon by ourselves. Just saying. Maybe we should have joined the war effort and killed all of them. And
you really think you can stop us? For every one of us you kill, a dozen more will come.
So then we get squalled.
Please, I don't want any of this. No one wants any of this. Just let us go. I have a daughter.
So, I hope you slept well?
How do I get here?
Well, what do you think? I brought you here. After you broke into my sanctum and made your little journey into the realm of the dead. Please, don't look at me like that. I knew what you were up to from the start. Sadly enough, I did.
Okay.
No, you don't. Because you don't dare to question. Peculiar situation, all of this, isn't it? Suddenly you, the fugitive urchin, become mankind's salvation. And suddenly, just like that, out of nowhere, you can perform feats others would require decades to master. Even better, you're one of the emissaries who can hear the echo of the future. But still, you never asked yourself why.
I mean, you seem to know the answers.
You're right, I do. But if there's one thing time has taught me, there are things one has to realize for him or herself. You can't force insight on people. It has never worked, and it never will.
Okay, so who are you really?
Who am I? Back then, I might have given you an impressive response to that. But at this time, I couldn't say anything that would help you. Let's just say I'm an observer, a fleshless I, if you prefer. In this era, you might also know me as the Aged Man.
Dun, dun, dun. I mean, you're centuries old, right?
Yes. And I'm certain that irritates you. But timelessness isn't that much of a feat. You will find that out yourself soon enough, too.
Okay, so what do you observe? The cycle?
Amongst other things, yes. The cycle.
Okay. So, I mean, a little less riddles, and I might actually be able to follow you, because apparently I'm a moron.
Believe me, all I say is quite thought through. But unfortunately, there's no point in pursuing this conversation any further. You have what you came for, and the rest is up to you. Even though I doubt it will make much of a difference.
So you're saying we can't stop the cycle?
Maybe you could do just that, but time will tell. Now, forgive me.
The cycle, Takoida. The cycle. I mean, it's probably a good thing to have a kick people out of my home spell if you're a mage. Yeah, we really do, Takoida. It really is becoming a thing. Elder Scrolls has being a prisoner, and this game has waking up. I mean, the motif of dreams has been a fairly obvious thing the whole game, so I'm sure it's deliberate. Hey, what's up?
You? But what the heck was that? Where's the manor?
Yeah, let me explain.
Try me. Any explanation's better than none.
Okay, so this is all a video game.
Uh-huh. That sounds strange, to say the least.
I know.
After you went down that shaft, someone locked the door to the study, and I couldn't get it open, no matter what I tried. Well, a couple hours later, I found myself face down in a puddle of mud. But anyway, these glyphs you drew on paper look good to me. So at least officially, this mission was a success. I only wish I... Hang on. You see that?
What? 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 Do I see what?
What's that? Casket? But where's this noise coming from?
That's the word of the dead.
This is it? But then the aged man left it on purpose. For us. Whew. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but it seems to me as if this fellow knew a lot more than we did from the start. Still, we should take this thing with us. Let's go back to Ark and report to the Grand Master. I've got a scroll right here with me. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well then, let's go.
I was gonna say, did he leave us here? I also didn't know scrolls could be AoE. Go figure.
Here we are. I suggest you go inside and tell the Grand Master what happened. Then give him the casket. I'll go grab my pay now, and then I'll head back to the tavern. I guess I need a good pipe. For some reason, I can't get these puppets out of my head. They remind me of something. Though I don't know what exactly.
Oh, God.
Anyway, see you around.
I remember that scroll, Takoida. While we're here, do I have any food? I do. Besides, that's a Q. You sure? No, it's an upside down 3.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
Move along.
I mean, if I have to. You know, I think I figured out why I'm yawning so much in this game. And I swear I don't mean this as an insult. But this game is really chill. Have you noticed that? Like, I don't mean this literally, but this feels like a game that's meant to be played walking, right? Like, really just kind of taking your time. Like, the overall tempo and pace of the game is very slow. It is consistently slow. It's just, I don't know, it's weird.
Prophet, were you successful?
Oh yeah. However, I have to explain. Explain. Yeah, I think you're right, Caspian.
So he knew about the cycle. That's disquieting. And interesting.
Yeah. Plus he left the Word of the Dead for us voluntarily.
Yes. Maybe that's an attempt to help us. He's not against us, because if he were, he wouldn't have let you out alive.
Yeah. So he knows more than he was willing to tell.
I bet that the Lightborn also knew more about the aged man than they told us. This explains why Malphas told the Order specifically not to bother him. But we will discuss his identity another time. What matters is that you were able to find the missing glyphs, and that we now have this relic, however useful it will be in the future. Bring both of them to the Archmagister, so that we can activate the Sigil Stone. Oh, and one more thing. What did the Pyreans in your memory call those behind the cleansing? The High Ones?
Yes, they called them the Reapers. I mean the High Ones.
Good. Then the enemy has a name now. Come back to me once you've talked to Maragil. Pegast still needs your help. Yeah. Tell Maragil about the ritual. We need to activate this Sigil Stone.
It's okay, we have to go through a couple of Oblivion gates. By a couple, I mean 77, or whatever the actual number is. Because we're insane. That's why I would never do a 100% run of Oblivion nowadays. Like, that right there is why I would not do a 100% run of Oblivion. Nothing else. I could manage everything else. All the quests, all the houses, you know, getting one of everything item, raising everything to max. Yeah, sure, I can do all that. Doing the 70+ Oblivion gates, that would get old. There's only what? 3 mandatory Oblivion gates? It's 2 or 3. It's not a lot. I actually don't remember. Yeah, no kidding, Dakota.
Jarem Dorba Nubis, Locorem Tares.
Hey, what's up?
Blasted blistering blazes. You sound like a boozed up poet. This is supposed to be magic?
Entropy is a dangerous school, my sir. One false word and the stone could burst into flames.
Well, keep up this babble, and he might do it on purpose. You godlambs are just missing the pepper, even when you're doing magic.
Pepper? Magic needs to have prudence, not pepper. She's like a sick frog. If you... Prophet, you're back.
Hey, yeah, what's up?
Sun be praised. Working with these fumblers is harder than teaching complex mathematics to a Leor. The Scrounger already told me about your success. Good work.
Thanks.
Have you got the glyphs?
I totes do.
Yes, just show me already.
But...
yes, that does make sense. Step back, I'll show you how this works.
Of course, Caspian.
Jarem Dorba Nubis, Locarem
I'm gonna be over here while you do that.
Sharak Lisham Ra.
By the righteous path. Are you feeling this?
Yes, this is impressive. Truly impressive. Are those the shards?
They're certainly not your underpants, are they? According to the Piraean writings, these shards offered protection against the Red Madness, as long as the sigil stone remains active.
I'm sorry, hang on. There's... whatever.
You're the one who found the missing glyphs, so how do you feel?
Powerful. No, I'm just kidding. I still feel like a weakling who's pathetic.
Very well. Then let's hope that this sigil stone lives up to its promise. Boy, go and tell the quartermaster that every keeper, as well as each one of us, is to be wearing one of these fragments by nightfall.
Boy!
Buzz off.
My sir, I really don't think this...
Do what he says, Legion. That is not how you will make friends here, Firespark. Not at all.
If it were friends I was looking for, I certainly wouldn't be here. Once again, good work. Old Aranthiel asked me to give you that, so you could buy better equipment. Now go back to him, and let him tell you about the next mission. It seems that Lishari has once again dug up something that could change everything.
Everything.
Yes, that just might work.
It's actually funny you say that, Plutonia. I actually put out a pronunciation guide for the Final Fantasy IX theater thing, but I've also allowed a little bit of leeway. Whoops. Well, nobody saw it. I've also allowed a little bit of leeway to ensure that some people pronounce things a little bit differently from other people to show dialect and whatnot. But that's all deliberate. What you're referring to is obviously not. Was that salt I looted? Oh, whatever.
Allow me not to burst into tears.
Yes?
Now, if it isn't the prodigy, well...
Good morning, Seraphim. About to chop off for the morning half of my day, actually. But I'm enjoying it reasonably well, as I think the pluses and minuses show over here. Hello, Saldier. I was just talking about you. That's not true. But I was just talking about the theater. I apologize for all these yawns. Like I said, I got nothing. I mean, I am tired. I've been working nonstop for about 4 months now. Five months now. But,
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. It's weird because I'm struggling not to sound like I'm impatient. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, every now and again when the voice acting starts, I just pull out my phone to get some work done really quick. I'm paying attention. I'm listening to what they're saying. It's just... I don't know. I'm multitasking because I don't know how to finish that sentence. Hi, Darth Trinius.
This feeling just now. That was the sigil stone, wasn't it?
Yes. The fragments will be distributed amongst the keepers tonight.
Very well. That only leaves us with Pegast's excavation. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, let's do this.
I'll make it short. We assume that in the last cycle, the Pyrians worked on a machine which they hoped would save them from the cleansing. An old artifact which they tried to put back together.
They called it the Crucible.
Well, we do know that the cycle is not an ordinary threat. It functions in a way we have not even come close to comprehending, almost like a cosmic force. This makes it naive to believe one could face this threat like a foe made of flesh and blood. Maybe, however, this machine can. As I said, the Pyrians didn't invent this machine. They merely reconstructed it from old plans they found somewhere.
Like the Crucible.
And if they thought this idea was worth pursuing, we should at least look into it. Pegast found an old ruin named Old Dothelgrad, which seemed to be some kind of laboratory of the Dilgar, one of the ruling castes in the Pyrian era. She assumes that we might find hints about this machine there, Or maybe even a prototype. I want you to help her in any way possible. Maybe your gift can reveal things normal eyes can't see.
I mean, I hate to point this out, but I mean, this is starting to get a little bit too similar to Mass Effect 3 for me. So we've got a cycle, which we don't fully understand why it exists, that happens every, thousands of years, and the previous people, who were called the Pyrians, started working on a machine that they didn't build, so they're just continuing the construction of this machine, which was to help them discontinue the cycle, but it obviously didn't work because they're not here and we are, and we're now going to try and complete the machine. Like, at a certain point, I start to think that this is actually a reference. It'd be interesting to talk to the writers and find out what they have to say about that. So what's the difference between a Dilgar and an Ishian?
They were the two different castes who ruled the Pyrean realm. Officially, they were servants of their highest being, the deity all of Pyrea worshipped, but everyone knew that it was the castes who had the power. And while the Ishian valued tradition, the Dilgar valued progress, which, as you can imagine, led to differences between the two, to say the least. They were the Lightborn of the Pyrean era, you could say.
Okay, that makes sense. So, I'm sorry, what makes you think this machine, whatever it is actually going to help us? Because it didn't save the Pyreans.
Yes, because they never had a chance to finish it. The Pyrean realm was in a constant state of war shortly before the cleansing, just like Vin has been for the past few years. And even if the machine does not work, any knowledge we can get from their struggle against the cycle is crucial.
Alright, that's valid. So how do I get here?
It's in a remote section of the Heartland. Keeper Sakaresh will accompany you there and show you the way. Good luck.
Okay, that's fair. I'll, just head over here. The name of this quest is Deus Ex Machina. Hey, Kalia?
Ah, there you are. The Grandmaster already briefed me on our mission. Shall we go?
Of course. Hang on. Why is the Grandmaster sending two of us on this mission?
Why do you ask? Does it bother you?
No. Of course not.
Yes, that's true. To answer your question, I don't know. I assume I am accompanying you because we both did the trial together, but as to why you are assigned to such a crucial mission is beyond me. It seems the Grandmaster really does believe in your role as a prophet, whatever that may mean. But anyway, I suggest we save these questions for later. For now, let's focus on the task at hand.
Do you know where we're going?
Yes, the ruin isn't far from here. Just meet me at the Myrids Tower in the Northern Heartland. I will wait for you there once I finish my preparations.
Now, what I find myself wondering, and I don't mean to sound harsh since I'll hear, although consequently, I don't know if you noticed this, but some people were messaging you in the tabletop section of the Discord with regards to you running a game. Just thought I'd point that out. Anyways, so one of the most frustrating things that ever happens to me as a writer is when I start writing a story and I'm really attached to it, like I really like where it's going, and then someone's like, oh, that sounds like just like such and such, and I'm like, now, I don't know if I have that problem more than other people, because I have been analyzing fiction for a very long time, even before I was doing it for the show. So I've got a lot of fiction bouncing around up here.
So, you actually...
So, you know? Every now and again I'm like, ha! Oh, you're right, that's just like such and such. Damn it. The only time, this is actually an older story, the only time I actually deliberately took a story and started rewriting it to suit my own purposes was a very long time ago, and I was actually doing it as an exercise, so it's not actually something I finished writing, so it's not something that is continuity or canon with the extant, but still, it's one of those little frustrations, right? It's like Eric, he's one of those little frustrations, you know? You see him and it's like, it's not a big deal, it's not like you want to stab yourself in the eye or anything like that. It's just,
And I fell for it. Well, seems seems the Grandmaster is...
Thank you very, very much, Eric, as ever. And as always, I do appreciate those Twitch Prime subs. I can't believe you managed that streak for almost 2 years. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. I don't suppose there's anything you want to put that towards for a future stream, because I know you don't really watch me. Kind of hoping for a thinger, but it looks like I don't have a thinger. And I have a third of the money I need. I mean, I'm one of those people who very firmly believes that there's nothing new under the sun. Like, adamantly. That being said, I'm also one of those people who usually argues against it when people are like, oh my god, this is totally just a copy, a straight word copy of such and such. Although that tends to be case by case, but whatever. I think I'm just gonna dump all this crap, honestly. I'm not doing alchemy. Hello? Oh. It's fine, Saldir. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Leave it be. It's cool. Nothing matters. Everything is permitted. I still have the honey jar. What in the world is that, Eric? I've never even heard of that. Okay, let me go down into the not actually on the list yet list. You gotta have lists and lists. Seriously, I've never even heard of that. What is that? Okay. One of those games I love but is depressed by. I'm not sure I can think of a game that I love that I was depressed by. I can think of a lot of games I didn't like that I was depressed by. Whee. Anyways, the point is, Salder, you should totally do a Star Trek game on the Discord. Pillars of Earth didn't depress me. Could have, and by all accounts the show would have, but the game didn't go that far. That's true, I get very depressed when I can't kill the gods. I'll just play God of War for a while.
Watch yourself.
I don't mind rats all that much. I mean, I've played Dishonored. Oh, wait, hang on. Is that... Aha! Noble Quarter, please. Yeah, Finding Paradise wasn't depressing either. Yeah, games that make me sad do not depress me. Games that depress me, depress me. There is a distinction. A very, very significant, powerful distinction between those two. Lady? Hello? Hello? I need to buy from you. Hello? Don't make me rob you. I'll do it. There we go.
I've seen this face, so yes, hooray! What can I do for you today?
You can get up so I can buy from you.
Oh my,
Nope.
now who is this? To see you here fills me with bliss, 'cause I can tell just from your eyes you search for magical disguise. Well...
Anyways. What time was it? mean, Last of Us, that was a game that definitely depressed me. I also didn't like that game. Dark Souls? Yep. Bloodborne? Uh-huh.
Yes.
Right.
What are you doing here?
Well, apparently nothing.
Foreigner, aren't you?
Go to hell. Alright, let's see here. Take that. Suppose I'll take these two. That. All of those. Yeah, sure.
Couldn't have picked a better time to come to Enderal. Recently, the Order has started to let pathless ones and people from the Undercity become keepers. So much for tradition and values.
Damn right. Down with tradition. You know, it's funny. This is just my take on this, but it is extremely rare that I see fiction portraying tradition as a good thing. Tradition in fiction is almost always portrayed in a negative light. Just food for thought.
Yes?
No.
Hello. Well then, you've come to the music to my ears. If you need anything else, drink and stew, just let me know.
That's funny, Caspian, because I got the exact opposite vibe from that, since, you know, the Jedi traditions are what led to the downfall of the Jedi Order and all that. And the domination of the galaxy by Palpatine.
Give it a try.
Now, granted, that's just my take on that, but, you know. Considering the whole Yoda learns how to let go of the traditions of the past arc he goes through.
May your path always...
Are you injured, Master Yoda? Only my pride. It's funny you say that, Ryan. I mean, I have my own traditions, but I don't really think of myself as particularly traditional. So anyways, for those of you watching on YouTube,